mics are on, and we are going. We're going. So I'm gonna put the chat up in this screen right here, just a big screen chat, so we could see what everybody says. You'll see it because it's big lettering and shit. When I was wearing glasses all the time, I needed it because I was half blind, so it sucked balls. But we're gonna keep it on the screen where it's me and you on the screen rather than, I don't know why I went back to this dude. All right, so there we are. We're live and we're up and running, and we'll start seeing people. We'll start seeing people come in soon, and we'll fuck with all the gadgets and things on this shit, and it'll be a lot of fun. So, so first things first, like I miss you, right? And I haven't seen you in a long time, and we've been friends for a while, and I'm such a big introvert, Like I don't get out the house, I don't go anywhere, and I see you going out for steak dinners.
Literally
and shit.
The opposite.
Yes, 100% the opposite. And like I commend you guys, like, because we're obviously getting up in age and shit, and I almost live vicariously through you guys because like I see the posts, I'm like, man, I wish I could be eating some steak at this fucking restaurant right now. But I'm like, I'd rather not see anybody or talk to people. So
well, yeah. And you're not the only person that I know that's like that.
Yeah.
Because I've had those type of conversations in the past too. But that makes me feel good because I'm gonna keep going out. I'm gonna keep having steak dinners. And I'm just saying, you know what? This one's for sure.
Yeah. No, right? That's what I'm saying. No, so we were talking earlier, obviously, about my New York Knicks and how good they're doing, and they're on a 9-game winning streak right now. And and I never thought that I'd see it because I honestly thought when they signed Randall and couldn't sign anybody else that they were gonna suck huge balls, and they're not.
That boy is balling out of his mind.
Oh, he's
43 points here, 45 points there.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing to have and the Yankees are sucking. So this is where the alternate universe that we live in right
12,
now.
I think we are right now.
Yeah, it's freaking bad. It's pretty bad. I know they beat the Indians twice in a row, but then they go and lose.
I think we lost to Cincinnati today, right?
Yeah. No, Cleveland. Cleveland again.
Cleveland.
So we played them 3 times, but we won 2, so we won that series. But still, they're sucking like massive nuts. So
it's tough.
It is. And did you see Mortal Kombat yet?
I did.
How did you like it?
I liked it. See, the thing is, to anybody out there that loves Mortal Kombat, I'm in the same boat.
Yep.
And the way if I could give a numbers, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10 for the effort.
Really?
For the effort.
For the effort.
Yes. I was teetering on a 6.5. But I understand what they're doing after I've read a little bit. I kind of know where they're going with it. So I give them 7.
They already signed for a sequel.
That's right. Because the problem I had was, I was like, this is not very tournament.
Yeah. It wasn't tournament at all.
Right.
Like 0 tournament.
Right. It's just them prepping for the tournament. But then when I read about the sequels and what they're trying to do and little things here and there, okay, I get it. I get what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but with me, it's like one actress or actor could like ruin a whole fucking story.
Right.
And Sonya, the chick who played Sonya, was such a bad actress that I just wanted. Like, it's like
she reminds me of Kylie Minogue in the Street Fighter movie with Van Damme. She was bad like that, but sexy as hell.
Well, did you ever watch The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah.
Well, Andrea, to me, ruined. Like, whatever I thought of the character in the comic book, because obviously, I mean, I have the comic book stacked up over there,
right.
And whatever I had thought about her in the comic book, when I saw the TV show, I wanted to punch her in the face the whole time. I never thought, like, that they could do so bad. She was, like, over dramatic. And it's almost like Dexter's sister.
Yeah.
You know how she cried every fucking scene? It's like that. To me, it's like an over dramatic personality, and I just can't, man. And to her, it wasn't even that. It was just the lines she would say and how she said them. They just were brought like as a B actor type of.
Well, the way I look at it as like a glorified kind of B movie because
Yeah.
they didn't have the budget of a lot of the blockbusters that we're seeing.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it the 7 for effort because I have a feeling that because right now it's doing okay. I think it
Yeah.
did like 22 million or
Oh,
something like that.
it's
I
doing
think
great.
they can improve upon that, and I think they can get what they need to make it better. But for now, that's kind of like where I'm at.
What do you think about the format of a movie going digital like a week after release or at the release? I know that HBO is not going to be doing it after this year, but
Right.
what do you think of that whole format of movie releases?
Well, bad for the movie theaters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Horrible.
Of course.
But okay, for the fans, you can't wait for it to come out,
Oh yeah.
especially with certain episodes on shows and things like that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I watched the video. Movie theaters got mad when Batman 1989 came out.
Yeah.
The VHS came out 4 months after the theater release
Oh yeah.
because they wanted to get Christmas for stocking stuffers. They wanted to make that money, so everyone to buy the VHS around Christmas time, so Warner Brothers could get that.
Yeah.
So movie theaters were protesting, saying that this is bad for us and things like that. So kind of seems a little bit along those lines.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And by the way, hello to Goldballer who just stopped by the chat. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Really do appreciate it. Not going to be too much into the chat today, Goldballer. Going to try to just talk to my dude here, and we're going to put it on YouTube, and then from there we're going to put it on Spotify. So you can listen to it in your car if you're driving or whatever. I don't think you're going to want to listen to this shit in your car, but hey, I'm hoping you do. So thanks for coming in, man. Really do appreciate it. So my thing with the digital releases, like movies are bootlegged way too quick. Like
Right.
I honestly, I watched Nobody, and I didn't watch it in the movie theater or on a digital copy
I
that I
haven't even
bought.
seen it
You should.
yet. I'm planning to though.
If you liked John Wick, dude, it's funny, and Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown,
Yeah.
is a fucking G, dude. Yo, the RZA and Doc Brown, bro, together as partners, back to back, just shooting motherfuckers.
That's amazing.
Dude.
Just saying that.
Yo,
Just saying that. Those two.
dude, ridiculous. I was giddy. I was laughing my ass off, and at the same time, super excited that this was happening. So it's a good movie. Bob Odenkirk, the guy who plays Saul from Better Call Saul, he's in it and did a phenomenal job.
Awesome.
And he kind of plays that kind of, he's just a nobody guy. Like, he's just a dude. Like, he's living his life. He's doing his boring 9 to 5, coming home, doing all that stuff, and he kind of just breaks. And it's because of his past. I'm not going to give too much away after that, but it's dude, from beginning to end, good movie. Not bad at all. Loved every second of it.
I can't wait to jump on it.
You should, and I'll give you that website.
All right.
So, so you can watch it without having to. I'm not saying
Even
anything.
better.
Yeah. So, what's up, Airmail? How's it going, man? Thanks for coming up into the stream, bro. We're doing a podcast right now. I'm doing my podcast with my dude Ruben over here, and Ruben, you can see my hand. He's right there. He's an awesome guy. He can look right into his camera and wave and say hey. So, yeah, but we're just chilling. We're talking about stuff and other stuff. So we're just gonna continue on with that format, and hopefully you guys enjoy the conversation. And if you want to join in, even or bring up any topics, we are here to appease you. So yeah. Anyway, so as of like, what are you looking forward to movie wise coming out?
Black Widow.
Yeah.
The new Spider-Man. I want to see what that is going to be like. The new Guy Ritchie movie with Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I heard there's also going to be a new Mechanic movie too.
Really?
So that stuff tickles my fancy right there.
Yeah. I'm not a big Jason Statham fan, and especially after the Fast movies.
Mm.
Not a big fan of those. Kind of, I think when you go to those, you're kind of a sellout. You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
see.
saying? So, even though I'll watch the next one and the
Hmm.
one after that and the seven more after that, and 14 years from now when they're still making them when their kids are old enough to be, I'll probably be watching it still. I'll be honest.
But you know something, like Guy Ritchie as a director is like a name for me, like Scorsese. I'm just gonna go see it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the Spielberg,
yeah,
Tarantino. You just go and see it. He's like that type of director for me, so I'm definitely in line for that.
yeah. Well, like I'm a fan of movies in general. I'm gonna
Right.
watch whatever comes out, even if it's with a dude that I don't like necessarily, because
Hmm.
there's a lot of people I hate in movies, and I watch them anyway, and I sometimes find them good. I don't even like Tarantino that much.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Ooh.
only of recently.
Okay.
It's not like the one with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. He did that, right? Like the Hollywood one. What is it called?
Yeah.
It's not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is it? Is that what it was called?
I think that's what it was. I think that was
If
what it was
that's what
called.
it's called, that movie was
Was
decent because if you look at the timeline and shit
Mhm.
like that and how they it was who was the killer? Was it Manson? Was it Charles Manson? That was the was supposed to be the main killer in the
Yeah,
movie, and
yeah.
they erased that from existence. And that was pretty cool how they did that, and
There was a
and
little
how the ending was.
controversy with the Bruce Lee scene too.
Really,
Yeah.
what was going on with that?
About him. I think about him getting beat up on set or something like that. I think it was. I got to double down on
Yeah.
that one. But
Okay.
I remember his daughter giving out a statement on that, and because of that, I was like a little hesitant to even see the movie because I was like, if it pissed her off. 'Cause
Yeah,
my dad was a big Bruce Lee fan, so
yeah.
I grew up a Bruce Lee fan. I was like, I might not even want to see this movie.
It wasn't bad. It was
But
like it. I didn't like the hateful. Or wait, what is it called? The Hateful Eight?
yeah,
Is that one what it was? Like I, how could I explain it? The dialogue sometimes goes on, and it's always in a Tarantino movie. You're
yes.
gonna have them explain a whole situation, but there's to me
Did
it
you
just
watch the 4-part series of that?
no.
Because there's the movie, but
It,
then it's even longer. It's in a 4-part.
yeah, and it made it longer with the dialogue. I don't think I like it. Like the dialogue is what bothered me. Is like I just like I get what was happening, and
Yeah.
I know, and he does, and I've watched all of his movies, and I've always like what is it? Why can't I think of the name of the movie? Like Mr. Pink, Mr. White, Mr. Like
Oh, Reservoir
yeah,
Dogs.
Reservoir
You didn't
Dogs
like
is
that?
I loved it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my
Okay.
favorite. It's one of my favorite
scared me there for a
movies.
second.
No, it's one of my favorite movies.
Beautiful
I
movie.
have the DVD somewhere or Blu-ray,
Yeah.
and but beyond that, like in Pulp Fiction,
Yes.
and I liked some of his off stuff, like
Yeah.
From Dusk Till Dawn, which was
Mhm.
done with
Yeah. Just the first
Rodriguez.
One, though. Just the
Yeah.
first
Oh
one.
no, the second ones were
Oof.
licensed off. I think
Yeah.
the sequels, those were
believe so.
licensed off, and I don't think they were done
I
by
believe you're right.
them.
'Cause
So
definitely didn't have that Tarantino
they were
touch at all.
horrible, horrible sequel. And speaking of horrible sequels, I hate them. Any sequel that comes out, like it seems like every single one of them sucks, except for these Marvel movies, of course. Every like, what is your favorite sequel of all time?
Favorite sequel. Ooh. Ooh.
Can I start off?
Go ahead.
Okay, so my favorite trilogy of all time, I think it's the most well done trilogy of all time because it's pretty much the same movie 3 times in a row.
Okay.
Is Back to the Future.
Yes.
And I don't want it to ever be remade ever in movies. And I know it's going to happen when
Yes, it's gonna
Donner or whoever
It's so gonna
dies.
happen.
Yeah, but I don't want it to.
I
Like
know.
I was in love with those movies as a kid. I got Doc Brown and
So
Marty.
even
right
the
there.
little bit of cheesiness from part 3 you loved?
Yeah,
Okay.
to be honest with you, I'm a Western guy.
Okay.
I love Western movies, and it was like sci-fi and Western, and like I like movies like Cowboys versus Aliens, dude. I
Okay.
love that fucking movie, and I have like I have kind of like a man crush on Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid too. It's really weird. Like if it's a Dennis Quaid movie, I don't even care how shitty it is,
They're
man. I'll
probably
watch it.
they're both like kind of like the same man.
Yeah, yeah, and that's pretty much why. I think it's because they remind me of a father figure that's badass, and
Right.
I just like him. I like him a lot, and yeah, that's Dennis Quaid's my dude. I like
I
him.
tell you what, this is almost debatable on the sequel being better than the original,
Yeah,
but Terminator 2,
Terminator 2. Oh yeah, Terminator 2 is my jam.
right?
I'm just not a big. Growing up, I grew out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing a long time ago, and I
Mhm.
think a lot of people did
Not
because
this guy.
no, no. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hold up one second.
You son of a bitch. I need a Uzi 9mm with laser sighting. Benny, screw you. Get down. What are you doing? How about this one? Crumb, I've never prayed you before. If you do not listen, then the hell with you.
Oh boy. I want you to choose your motorcycle.
Switch it back. Sorry, my bad. But
Oh
no,
my
it,
God.
it it like I grew out of him a long time ago. I know a lot of. I know you. I've known you've been a fan for a very
Oh
long
my
time,
goodness.
and you like all like the you and a guy from work. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that, but you used to always talk about Kung Pao and
Oh yeah.
all these dubbed over funny ass movies that like to me personally I liked a lot of them. I like Shaolin Soccer. That's
Mhm,
like one of my
mhm.
favorites. But you guys would go verbatim like word for word on these movies and
See, the thing about it is the cheesiness is part of the brilliance.
Oh, yeah.
Of them
Big time.
because, like, even with Kung Pao, the first time I watched it, I didn't get it. I was
Yeah.
just like, this is crazy. But then, like, you give yourself a few watches and maybe some being under the influence, and sometimes it clicks, and then you start to get it.
I forget which one my wife and I watched, but we watched one together and we watched it in Cantonese with subtitles instead of actually watching it with the dub over.
Right.
And we didn't even know the DVD had the option until like the sixth time we watched it because it was like we didn't have cable at the time.
I did that with Kung Fu Hustle.
That's what it was, Kung Fu Hustle. Yes, that's what it was. And we watched it. We thought it was great. But then I was like,
love
"Whoa,
it.
hold up! I don't have to read. I could actually see everything." And then
That's
we
another
watched it
great
even
movie.
20 more times. Yeah, it was freaking great. It was freaking
That's
awesome.
another great movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Well done.
cheesy movies in general are some of the best movies. I mean,
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite is
Oh,
like one of
come
my
on.
favorites and
Come
one
on.
of my wife's favorites. Like
Yeah.
we watch that shit every Thanksgiving. We watch Four Brothers and Napoleon Dynamite because when we were poor, when we were very broke, those were the only two DVDs we owned. And we would watch it every Thanksgiving because Four Brothers is kind of a Thanksgiving movie. It
Yeah. Yeah.
it takes place during that time, and Napoleon Dynamite just because we had it. It was in like a $2 bin at like one of the movie rental places.
Like,
So.
knock it off, Napoleon. Make you a
Yeah.
dang quesadilla.
Yeah, I'm like my thing is I have a really weird cheesy like favorite movie list. Like my movie list would be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. That's with Dennis Quaid, right?
No,
No,
Rookie
that's-
of the Year. That's the Rookie on
The
for
Rookie,
Disney,
okay,
which is
okay.
also an awesome movie. But it's with Henry Rowan Gardner, and he says "funky butt lovin'" when he breaks the dude's nose with his arm because he could pitch really fast, and he plays for the Cubs, and it's a little kid. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like a little Italian kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
he plays for the Cubs because he could pitch real hard because he broke his arm some certain way, and they did like Tommy John on him, and he fucking throws like 120 miles per hour. So they hired him for the Cubs, and he
And the Cubs
plays.
have been so bad for so long. They actually tried doing that for real.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, and it's one of my son's favorite movies. It's
A movie like that for me, Angels in the Outfield.
oh yeah, me too. I'm a big sports movie guy. Like
All right, so give me some of your favorite sports movies.
Hoosiers,
Okay,
White Men Can't Jump,
brilliant.
The Program, You remember the
Yes,
program?
that's the college football movie. Yes.
With Omar Epps.
Yeah, Omar Epps.
Yes, it was phenomenal.
That was really good.
Any Given Sunday.
Yep.
Because you have to have hoo-ah. You got to have some Al Pacino in it. And that speech,
many flavors. Oh.
I got something stuck right in my esophagus.
Oh man, you hear the dinner bell, and you just throw it down the street.
Yeah. Well, the War of Inches is one of my favorite speeches in any movie.
Oh my God, I know.
So so it would be Hoosiers, White Man Can't Jump, Any Given Sunday. Shit, dude. I like some cheesy ones like the Mighty Ducks, but that's not top 5 or anything like that. But top 3 would be those 3 movies. The other 2 are kind of, I don't know. Maybe, what's that? What's the one where it's not Coach Carter, but it's the one with the chick from Cheers, and she plays Sunset Park.
Oh my God,
Sunset Park.
Listen,
what time is it?
Even if you don't like the movie, you gotta admit the soundtrack was the bomb on that movie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So Sunset Park probably top
Sunset
4.
Park, wow.
And shit with the 5th. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know the 5th. But what is yours?
I'm with you on White Man Can't Jump. There's just no denying. I loved, this is 8th grade when He Got Game came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I destroyed that VHS tape.
Yeah. Oh, no. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah. I can just spit lines out of that movie.
Yeah.
I really liked Above the Rim because it was really authentic.
Yes.
They used a lot of the real New York City basketball courts and tournaments and stuff like that, and the acting was really good. Bernie Mac was awesome as his flip, the bum.
Yeah.
Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Hoosiers is great. Any Given Sunday.
That's 3.
Even you know what? The movie with The Rock, the remake, when he's a football coach.
Oh, the Gridiron.
Gridiron.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Gridiron Gang was good.
Yeah, Gridiron Gang.
Yeah, I'm kind of like. I mean, even like some unknown ones. I really liked Rebound.
Oh yeah,
the Earl Manigault story. That was the first time I ever saw Don Cheadle in anything.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
We're doing good. I love you. Bye.
Have a good day at work.
So that was my wife. She's going to work. So now we can talk about boobs and stuff. I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about boobs.
That's the only reason why I'm here.
Yeah, no boobs.
Let me get to the boob talk.
Yeah, and what do you think about the movies that are on my wall?
All right, The Goonies, undeniable classic. I don't care who you are, what country you're from.
Yeah.
Poetic Justice, awesome. Janet was brilliant. She was so great.
Yeah.
Didn't Game Over? Wow.
No, that's not Game Over. That's actually Stranger Things season 3.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but the only movies.
Dope poster, though.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I like that.
I love that poster.
Breakfast Club. Okay, so you know what?
Are you a John Hughes fan?
Yes.
Okay.
I loved movies from that era. I love Weird Science.
Oh yeah.
I love a lot of those movies from that era too. Those are I like them more as an adult than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I appreciate that era more because that's basically that era is kind of like for our age, like Will Ferrell's line of movies and things like that. You're not going to see that in the next generation. It's going to have to be a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Because you just can't replicate that.
For sure. And I like John Hughes. Like if anything, if I've ever wanted to be in a movie, it was always a raunchy teen movie when I was a kid. So it was like John Hughes was the guy. Like you'd watch these movies and you'd be like, man, like.
And the thing is, like, how many times you watch them too? It's like you can just repeat these movies over and over and over.
Yeah,
and just not get sick of them.
100%. And Spielberg is definitely a movie, like a director or even as a producer, like has been. I don't think he's ever done anything really bad, but I think J.J. Abrams now is on that level of that, directing and just. I mean, I don't think did he do the Star Wars movies? Is he who fucked up the last ones? I don't know who fucked up the last ones. Who was that? I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Are you a big Star Wars guy?
Okay, I'm a. See, I like the original Star Wars movies. I'm kind of like one of those weirdos where like I think sometimes you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think. I think that saga is great, and I think everything that came after Episode 6 was for the fans because you can't replicate that.
Yeah.
The way you can't replicate E.T., the way you can't replicate
The Goonies.
the Goonies, or when Jurassic Park was first coming out, the first Jurassic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've tried.
Oh yeah.
They tried, and sometimes you just can't do it.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. The Lost Boys sequel sucked. Like them even trying to bring any of that stuff back.
Listen, you know what? That's another great. That is such a damn good movie.
Oh, I think
goodness.
the Coreys were phenomenal in the
On
80s.
fire.
They were great until that one movie, and it was when they were kind of in that awkward upper teen level, and they were like in high school, and like Corey Feldman was dressing like Michael Jackson in the movie. I don't remember what it was, but it was
that MJ fetish real bad.
Yeah, it was a really bad movie. And after that, they just fell off. I never really heard of them again. But License to Drive.
Well, Corey Haim, he was dealing with drug
addiction. Yeah. I think they both were for even in teenage years. I think like the Corey Feldman was talking about being on shit when he was in like Friday the 13th type of shit. Like he was it Friday the 13th or yeah, it was Friday the 13th, right? That's what he was in when he was really, really young, right?
Which one?
He was in like Corey Feldman was in like 2, I think. I think he was in 2.
I don't know.
Because it was Jason, I remember.
Yeah.
You know what? Because Kevin Bacon was in 1.
The first one.
Yes, the first one. Corey Feldman was in the second one. I'm pretty positive he was, and we're going to look it up so you can look on the computer screen right now. Sorry.
Feldman. That will irk me for the rest of the night.
Part 4. He was in Part 4.
Oh, but nobody watched Part 4.
Well, I did. I watched all these shits. Like, every time one came on, Crispin Glover was in it? I didn't know that. He's horrible. Maybe it was a really bad movie. Like it was.
He must have been really young too.
Yeah, must have been. That's 84. Well, Back to the Future came out in 85, so he wasn't that much younger.
Yeah.
Than that.
Okay.
So he.
Well, the thing is, like, if you look at old photos, behind the scenes photos from the first Back to the Future, the makeup was so bad.
Oh yeah. And he ended up trying to sue them, or he did sue them because they used his likeness in the second one.
Oh.
And he didn't want it. Like he got fired. They weren't going to have him back because he wanted more money. He wanted like Michael J. Fox money. And he also wanted to. He hated how the first one ended because he didn't think it should have ended on a positive note.
Oh. Okay.
He thought it should have ended to where his father shouldn't have been perfect when he came back. It was like family was perfect when he came back in 1985. So
he wanted a little bit of butterfly effect.
Yeah,
okay.
he wanted some shit to be fucked up, which they did. I mean, in some parts of it. I mean, in Part 2, he went back to 1985 and George was dead. Yeah. So, fuck. It's like, but then they used his likeness even in that at the end of 80. Like, I don't even understand how. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, they fucked up the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they went back to the future, and they fucked up the future. Biff went back and gave him the book, the sports almanac.
Mm-hmm.
But when they went back and reset everything, it was back to the perfect, Maybe it shouldn't have been. Like, maybe it should have been back to the normal instead of the I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that. I could get into that for fucking hours. But time travel movies in general are my favorite. Like, if anything, even a TV show, whether it's Bill and Ted, even the Bill and Ted cartoon, which, by the way, Keanu Reeves and the other guy. I'm always gonna say the other guy. I don't know his fucking
nobody
name.
remembers that guy's name.
They voiced the first season of the Bill and Ted cartoon way back in the day. And you looked at me like, you remember it?
I remember that cartoon.
Okay.
Right when you were saying it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you looked at me, it looked like you were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Bill and Ted cartoon? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But
I was like processing it because I was picturing it in my mind.
Yep. Well,
but isn't that a sequel supposed to be coming out for that?
it already did.
Oh, yes.
You didn't watch it? It sucked.
No, I didn't.
It sucked. It's one of those movies that they should not have fucked with. I think Bogus Journey was awesome.
Yeah.
And what were those guys called? The cavemen dudes? Were they engines or something like that? Was it engines? Like they used to say the fucking word of what they were, but I love that movie. The part 2, that's a sequel that I could actually fuck with was Bogus Journey because the Grim Reaper or whatever the hell his name is, he was hilarious.
Oh my god, what was his name? He's been in so many good sci-fi movies.
Well,
he was great.
Have you ever watched that movie Barry on HBO?
No.
Well, there's this guy. He's like a German dude, and he has like no hair. He's like what was that dude on Yukon? The guy on Yukon?
Charlie Villanueva.
Charlie Villanueva.
I used to have his
he had this
AOL Instant Messenger, and I used to mess with him all the time. He used to block me like every day.
Yeah. I remember the who was the story about back in the day with the pizza on the car, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about
Voshkel? Was that
Jake Voshkel?
Jake Voshkel? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that shit.
Jay
like
Barry. Legend.
Yeah, legend. But but that's a whole nother day. What were we talking about?
So we were talking about sequels, and we're talking about
Bill and Ted.
The German guy from
Barry, right? He's like this bald guy. He's hilarious on the show. If you haven't watched it yet, it's with Bill Hader.
Okay.
And it's great. He plays like an assassin that decides he wants to take acting classes because he goes to assassinate a guy, and they're in acting classes, and they think he's there volunteering or go, and he ends up acting, and he likes it. He catches the bug.
Wow.
So the German guy is like a guy that's supposed to assassinate him, but then they turn out to be like friends and shit like that. And it's he's fucking hilarious. But
it's an interesting premise.
Yeah, he's like in Bill and Ted, the new one. And he plays like a robot. You don't know it's him because he's like got prosthetics all over his face and shit. And he's hilarious in it. He's probably besides the Grim Reaper is the funniest part because he's in that one too.
Okay.
So everybody that was in the old one, pretty much is in this one. So it's pretty cool. The fathers, all that shit.
So it seems like they just tried to play off the nostalgia more.
Yeah, they have daughters in the movie.
Oh wow!
And they're kind of like them, like whoa, dude, So it's kind of nobody's like that nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you might get. This isn't Fast Times.
There's no more Valley Girls.
Yeah, there's no Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like, whoa, dude, how's it going, bro? Like, there's none of that shit.
Like,
I mean,
let's go to the mall.
Yeah. Or wait.
You want to go to the mall?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that sounds great. I'm so happy. We get a follow. Thank you.
No, like seriously, I was talking to Bobby, and he was like, "Listen, we should just go to the mall and get Slurpees." And I was like, "Everybody's at the mall. Let's go somewhere else." And he says, "Where else are we gonna go?" I was like, "I don't know."
I sound like a girl with a bad, smoker laugh.
Like your name is Heather?
What?
Like your name is Heather?
Yeah, my name is Heather. And I'm gonna smoke my cigarettes on the underneath the bleachers.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Shut up, bitch. Lay off of me, I'm starving.
Fucking Farley.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Damn it.
Anyway, so we've just been kind of fucking around. Thank you guys so much for coming into the stream. Remember, if you're not already following, please press that follow button. I'm here with my dude Ruben. We're fucking around with a bunch of stuff on my new sound thing here, and we're also
get everything dialed in.
Yeah, and this is just a test run of what we're trying to do, and hopefully you guys dig it, and I can't wait to keep doing this. This is going to be phenomenal. And we're going to still keep talking, I hope, for a little bit while more, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've been talking about movies, right? What would you, like, out of big movies that have ever come out, like, what's your biggest disappointment? Like, you went to the theater, you were honed in, you're like, this is going to be the most epic thing I've ever seen in my life because I've been waiting years for this. And then it just completely sucked.
All right. Trying to think of some that kind of I had my hopes high, and then it kind of. You know what? You know what was really bad? But the thing is, my hopes weren't high, but it was just so bad. Was the RoboCop remake?
Oh,
It was just next level bad.
it was horrible.
And the thing is like those type of movies, because of our age, worship those kind of
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
That was our era.
Murphy!
Yeah, you know what I mean. Come quietly, or there will be trouble.
I'm trying to shoot fucking baby food
Yeah.
things with my BB gun when I'm a little
Like-
kid.
or like, listen, this is like the '80s when like they would turn really violent movies into kids' cartoons.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So like I'm watching RoboCop and I'm seeing a guy try to rape a girl, and then RoboCop shoots him in the dick.
Or the guy just getting melted with acid at
Yeah.
the end of the movie and shit. Who was that? Red Foreman? Was that Red Foreman? Or was that the dude from fucking ER that got crushed by the helicopter? I don't even know, but they both look the same to me. They're bald dudes that are
Yeah.
kind of assholes and everything that they're
But then you know the father from that '70s show
in. Yep.
was
Red Foreman.
Yeah. Okay. So he wasn't the one that got the acid on him.
Okay.
He's the one that got killed at the very end. The one that got the acid on him was, he's one of your '80s,
I think he's the
80s
guy
bad
from
guy.
he's a guy from ER who was an asshole and everybody hated him. And like he got his arm cut off by a helicopter. Like they hated this dude so much that they listened to the fans and they're like, we just want this fucking guy dead. So they cut his arm off once because he's like at a helicopter pad and
Yeah.
he backs up too much and they cut off his arm. So he continues being a doctor, but he's still a dick.
How did that angle work out?
Dude,
what did he do this? And
no,
the thing's like spinning.
like it was like he backed up and like the rotor blade at the back and he fucking cuts off his arm, but then like he survives a couple more things and then like they really want to get rid of him. So like he's on the bottom floor like smoking a cigarette outside the fucking like the ER. And a helicopter like falls on him and, and he dies. I don't like
we're
it's
just gonna torture this character.
but that guy is the guy that got burnt with the acid,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, in RoboCop. But yes, that movie was horrible. It was like one of the worst remakes, and there's a lot of bad ones.
I just like almost wanted to cover my eyes. It was so freaking bad.
Hell yeah. I
Oh
didn't
my
like how they
God.
gave him like emotion right out, like he was like him, like right off the rip, you know.
Mhm.
I think like what's going on
Well,
here?
the thing about RoboCop is what made it interesting instead of just a cheesy '80s action science fiction was he's actually having an internal battle because his real brain is still in there. So even though he's a cyborg, he's having memories, he's having things that he doesn't fully understand.
Yeah.
So and then he has an affinity towards his partner because she reminds him of his wife and things like. So he has like these battles that actually are interesting.
Yeah.
Whatever that remake had none of that.
Poo-poos.
Oh my
straight,
God.
Straight doo-doo.
Oh my
Dookie.
God.
We just got somebody just said, my dude Airmail just said Jamie Foxx just won an Oscar tonight. Is it Oscar movies? What
Yeah,
movie did he
Oscars
play
movies.
in? What movie did he play in to get an Oscar?
The last movie I saw him in was that Netflix movie, Power or something.
Wait, he was in Soul. I think he was in Soul, which is is it the movie Soul that he got the Oscar for the animated? I don't know.
That's that
I don't-
Disney movie, right?
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
Disney. It was actually pretty good, but it's depressing as shit. The Disney movies aren't for kids, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. Toy Story are some of the scariest fucking movies I've ever watched in my life. And kids don't get it because they see cartoons and they think that it's cool and shit.
Mhm.
But you have people that are being captive. They're held prisoner. There's a kid that tortures them. They have what is it, Stockholm syndrome in the second one, where they try to convince him that he needs to be with them
Yeah.
and not go back to the toys because they're going to get shipped to China together or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, it's all fucked up. And in the third one, they come to terms with death, dude. They fucking hold hands, and they're about to go into the infirmary, the incendiary room, where there's hot molten lava about to melt all these damn things, and they hold hands. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna die.
And then they
Let's
have
just
that
hold hands.
midsummer cult in the first one, where the claw,
Yeah.
these aliens are
Yep.
just worshiping the claw.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. And they sound
That's
like
how I
this. Hold up one second.
Ooh, the claw.
You
Say
have
it
been
together.
chosen.
Wait, say it together. Ooh, the claw.
You have been chosen.
We have been chosen! Oh my god! Oh.
The warranty is expired.
But yeah, that's pretty much how it's been. Iron Man. What are you talking about? He wasn't in Iron Man. Jamie Foxx is not in Iron Man. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, like they're scary movies, and this Soul movie the guy dies. He falls down a manhole and he fucking dies, dude.
oh.
But then he's in a coma. It didn't make really any sense. But
I'm
he
starting
was,
to think that Disney movies are turning us into adults a little too early, because when you think of like The Lion King,
Yep.
Mufasa dies in like the first 20 minutes.
well, that's Hamlet. That's
Yeah,
Hamlet.
sure.
He even says the line while he's holding the skull. Scar does.
Mhm.
So it's like, and if you look at it, he's holding a lion's skull. So which means he probably ate his own brother.
Could've.
That's some fucked up shit.
That's
Like-
what lions do.
Yeah, and it is messed up. But that's the way the kids' movies are, man. I can't watch them or unwatch them. When I watch them, I'm automatically thinking this has some fucked up shit to do with. And when I saw Soul, it was the same thing. It was like they're talking about death, coming to terms with death, failure. Failure was a big thing in that movie. Like he tries to be like a jazz musician, and he's failed so long, but he gets like a teacher job, but he doesn't want the teacher job because he's not happy. It's like shit that kids wouldn't understand. My daughter loves the movie because there's like blue little fucking blob people that talk to each other and shit. And the guy becomes a cat. Like he comes back as a cat.
Mhm.
So it's like it's fucked up. It's fucked up. So-
And that's a lot of Disney movies.
It
That's
is.
a lot of Disney movies because, when you rewatch them, there's emotional things that you will not understand.
Yeah. Up.
That is, yeah.
Up. That like they're saying that kid is the guardian angel. Like the fan fiction is that the kid is a guardian angel, and he's bringing him to, heaven.
To heaven, yeah.
And
That's a good.
Yeah, and
Wow.
dude, Snow White's fucked up.
Bambi.
Cinderella's fucked up. Bambi is totally fucked up. Like they're all messed up movies, man. I personally think Disney is like they're sending, like it's all subliminal. I mean, obviously to
without
kids,
a doubt. Without
but
a doubt.
I don't trust it.
I don't even think you could make an argument for that.
Yeah, and then they say they won't even have movies with certain things in them. It's like you watch some shit and they're like, "Nah, we're not putting that in our movies. We're not having violence." When they were like, they didn't even want to take over Deadpool,
All right.
until they bought Fox, so they have the rights, but they're like, we're gonna let him be him, and then they got to put him on like Disney Plus Premium, so now you got to pay like $7 more to just be able to watch a Deadpool movie when it comes out.
And that's just a load of BS on
Yeah.
Disney's part.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
There's no listen. You're gonna either watch it or you're not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm a big movie guy, but I'm gonna find a way to watch it without paying that $7 extra. And I bought Disney. I have Disney Plus and HBO Max and shit. But if you charge me any more, I'm kind of done with you. $7
agree.
is that my happy medium. Like I don't mind it. I have my Hulu's a little expensive because it's included my HBO and shit, but I won't fucking spend a lot.
And with the competition now, I'm hoping that all of these streaming channels don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Netflix is trying to pull that shit for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Netflix had the DVDs though, and I liked the DVDs.
Mhm.
I would always say that I lost them. and then they would not charge me for them, and I would just keep the DVDs.
There you go.
I'm kind of a dirtbag like that. I'm not gonna lie, I did it a lot. So, we got some people in here. Thank you guys so much for coming up into the stream. Really do appreciate it. We should probably post this on Facebook or something like that, so
Absolutely.
that people post it on your Facebook. You got your phone on you? I'm gonna post mine on my Facebook, but you got more friends that like you. Like, a lot of people don't like me, Ruben.
I think that's just your world perspective taking over.
Yeah. Probably. But let me post it right now. I'm also gonna post it in my Discord to stream is up. That's all I'm gonna say because they'll usually come by.
I got no bars.
Do the Wi-Fi,
I have to.
and I'll type you the password. I'm not gonna say it, but it's obvious. It should be Cancier's 5G. Don't do the 2.5. That shit's slow as fuck.
Okay. Found it.
Huh?
I found it.
Okay. Hold up 1 second. It's really easy. See the guy on the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Far right?
Yeah, the far
The
right.
bald guy?
Yeah. All right. Instead of a 2, it's an O. And the other number. And you're good. No caps. No cap. I don't even know what that means. Like,
No cap has to do with you're not lying.
Oh, okay.
So capping is like lying.
Oh, I thought capping was like dissing. I used to cap on people all the time when I was a kid. You remember capping? It used to be called capping.
I was calling it dissing.
It was called dissing. I come from Stanford, and
Okay.
when I was a kid, if you were fucking with someone, it was either capping or you were dissing someone.
Right.
And it wasn't like it was never. I never heard it until somebody said no cap, and I'm like, no joke? Is that what they mean? No
Yeah.
joke? Because it was a joke against somebody with a cap.
Mhm.
So I'm not in the loop. Like, I don't know any of this shit. When people are saying sus,
Don't feel
I'm
so
like,
bad.
I kind of figured out what it was because it's part of a word. But why the fuck aren't we saying suspicious or suspect instead of saying sus? I don't understand it, but I don't talk that talk. I say it to my son to annoy him. I'll be like, dude, it's hot outside, no cap, and he'll be like, Dad, come on. I'll be
They're
like,
just trying
no.
to cut words down to their lowest.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. They're really lazy. And
I think it's just some of them can't even say suspicious.
yeah.
They're like that Mexican dude in Next Friday, like suspicious.
Yeah, probably. It's amazing how lazy it is when it comes to just saying a word. I've heard people say lol or BRB.
Yeah.
Like talking, saying BRB, and I'm like, you better say those fucking words.
The only reason why I know even what that is from instant messaging.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, texting, I understand it. Sometimes you don't want to type everything out, but there's no reason why people need to.
My nephew used to say OD all the time.
What does that mean?
OD, like overdosed. So
Oh.
like when we would watch like a basketball game, they'd be like, "Oh, Amari Stoudemire's OD. He's OD. He's overdosed." He's
What
like,
is that?
it's just like he's just too much.
I think OP maybe. You sure it wasn't OP?
He said OD.
OD.
He'd be like
that's
OD. He's
that's
like,
so weird.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, because I
don't even think that lasted that long.
yeah, because I mean OP in video games always you hear people say OP. It's
What is OP?
overpowered.
Overpowered. Okay.
Yeah. So that gun's OP.
Mhm.
You're playing Call of Duty. You got this pistol that's fucking shooting 40 rounds in a second, and they're like, "Oh, that's OP as fuck." That's the way it's used. I get that.
Yeah.
I get the video game lingo, but when it's in real world type shit, and I'm like at work, and somebody tells me they're gonna BRB, I want to punch them.
But like, you're just
hard.
lazy.
Yeah, you are just. I get it. You're trying to be hip, but I'm not. So just say "be right back" and we'll be all right.
Well, see, it's okay to be hip if you're 16. But if you're like 37 and you're saying no cap, just shut up.
Yeah, you shouldn't be saying no cap.
Cut it out.
I said fleek twice, and it was on my stream, and it was to get some laughs, but I don't say that. Dawn, what? What are you talking? What? Come on, K. What? What are you guys talking about? Jamie Foxx won an Oscar tonight. Oh my God! Awesome! No way. Oh my fucking god. That's scary. Iron Man. Come on, Kay. I don't know what you get. Oh, you're talking about the stupid words. The stupid words, yeah, the stupid words suck. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm
we can live
old.
without those.
I really do not fuck with the lingo. I did back when I was a kid, but like he said, if you're 40 years old, you're not wanting to use this lingo.
Gotta let it go.
It's the lazy lingo is what I'm gonna call it. Lazy lingo. LL. Just shortened it right there. See that? That's just LL, bro.
Yeah. Or like instead of laughing, lol. Stop.
Lol.
Stop it. Stop it.
Lol.
Like, lol.
You fucking gotta be kidding me. So we've talked about movies, obviously, and we talked about
Good movies at that.
and I could go for movies. I could talk about movies for. What's the last one you've seen in the theater?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you actually watched it in
I went
theater.
to the theater, yeah, because the thing is, I'm a Mortal Kombat stan. So, me and JoJo went down there. We actually wanted to go to IMAX, but IMAX was sold out the whole day, and it was my only day off. So, we just said,
what's the capacity right now?
it's half.
Oh,
it
it's
might
only
even
half.
be less than half because they showed us the grid on, and you could choose your seats and stuff like that. And it didn't even look like they were even using that much.
Yeah.
But
So, did you end up getting COVID?
I did.
You did?
Oh yeah.
When did you get it?
I got it in April of last year.
Really? You
Yeah.
got it that early?
I got it early.
Oh shit!
I
You got it like a
remember-
month after.
I remember one of the meds that they were giving me was approved that week. It was that new.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was different.
Now, did you get time off? Like when it happened? Like, did you?
Well, my job's protocol was if your temperature was over 100,
Yep.
like 100.1 even, you have to quarantine and then go get tested.
Huh.
The thing was, when I got tested, I got positive, but the loopholes that I had to go through just to get tested was nuts. I had to lie through my teeth. I
Yeah.
had to tell my doctor I had this, I had that, and it took 5 phone calls just to get in a FaceTime appointment.
Yeah.
Because that's how they were doing it. So then after that, I got my test set up.
Yeah.
Found out I was positive. They called me like the next day. Usually it's not that quick.
Yeah.
They called me the next day. I went through Bacchus, and those few days I was fine. Even though I had a temp, it would go up and down.
Yeah.
And then I started to get sick like a couple days after that.
Dude, mine was brutal.
Yeah.
Like my neck still hurts, and I still lose my taste. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
my taste was. And by the way, if I was to ever say that I want to die, it was during that week.
Wow, that's
because
heavy.
I think not tasting anything and not being able to go out and not being able to work and not be able to do stuff, it was so depressing. Dude, everything tasted like cardboard. I'd eat fries, cardboard, a carrot, cardboard. Everything tasted like fucking nothing.
That's horrible.
And my smell, it was fine because, in the field that we work, we smell shit. So I didn't smell it. Like, so when I didn't know I had it, or when I figured out that I probably had it, was when everybody got it at my job.
Wow.
Like, everybody. I'm talking everybody. I'm talking every staff member literally got it.
Crazy.
And everybody had to be on, like, 10-day quarantines and shit. Or it was 14, and it switched to 10 in the middle of when I was sick.
Mhm.
So I got to come back early. But I tested negative for when I came back. But it was the worst thing, dude. I didn't feel sick, but it was like the pain, like the.
Not me. I was sick.
Yeah.
I was in the ECU for like a week and a half.
Really?
Oh yeah. I didn't know if I was coming out.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I have a mother that lives in a convalescent home, and I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Because I didn't need her getting sick, freaking out. Because the thing is, during that time, it was more unknown. I
Yeah.
didn't really know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So then once they moved me out of the ECU to a regular hospital room, is when I told her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The only one that knew was my uncle.
Huh.
So
That's
it was
freaking
it was
crazy.
that scary though. It was like because you didn't know what was gonna happen.
That is nuts. Like mine, like the thing too is my family didn't get it.
Oh wow.
Nobody here got it. So I'm just sitting there like a fucking bitch on the
Yeah.
couch for like a week, and my daughter's coming up to. You can't stop a 5-year-old from trying to hug you.
No.
I'm like trying to push her away. She never got it. My wife never got it. My son doesn't come out of his fucking room. He's 17 years old. You haven't seen him yet. You've been in the house for 2 hours.
That's true.
You're not gonna see him because he never comes downstairs. He has his own shit up there. He has his own food, his own fridge. So he don't come down here. He don't give a shit.
Den.
Pretty much. And he has the biggest room in the house too. Because what the fuck are we gonna do, right? I spend like the hours that I sleep in my room, and then I'm never in there ever again. I come down here. I'm
You're pretty much
chilling.
in the office.
Yeah. And I don't want to watch Yo Gabba Gabba or whatever the fuck my daughter's watching, so I don't spend any time in the living room unless my daughter's like, hey, come play with me. And then I'll play with her for a little while. I get sore, and then I'm like, I'm out. I end up bouncing and coming and chilling in here. But I try to be a good dad. But, it's overrated. No, being a dad is great, dude. It's phenomenal. I love it a lot. It's the best job I ever had. I mean, it's a job because this shit's work. You put in a lot of hours on this shit, and to make your kids be halfway decent, it's a full-time job, and it's crazy to even think of having kids, because even now I'm like, am I doing this shit right? Like, and I've been it for 17 years. I'm like, my son's about to graduate high school. I'm like, am I doing this all right? I got him. That white car out there is his, and I'm like, I bought him it.
Oh, he's that Malibu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I got him a car, and it was, my dad never got me shit. The kid don't appreciate anything. So I'm like, dude, you only drive it when you could afford gas. So he doesn't get to really drive it
Okay.
all that often. I give him gas for school, but beyond that, I don't fuck around because he has to get a job.
Well,
When did you get a job? Like what age did you get
16.
a job? 16? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Where did you work?
Actually, I worked at my first job ever was working at the arcade in Foxwoods. My mom got me that job.
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah. that
I
was my
worked at
first job
Disney.
ever. Oh,
Disney
really?
World.
I think you telling me
Yeah,
that a
the
while
Magic
back.
Kingdom. I wore fucking a tail shirt with a purple pocket on my right breast, and then I wore these fucking purple shorts that were like higher. When baggy, like the baggy shorts were a thing.
Yeah.
No, these shorts were above my knee, like way above my knee, and I had a purple sock and a teal sock. And they were the ugliest things in the world. And all I did was sweep like a fucking 10 by 10 area, cigarette butts and shit like that off the ground. That's all I did. And then I'd go back of the house and I'd leave. I only worked like 3
I
or
would
4
have
hours
to
a day.
tattoo "Kill Me" on my foot. I would
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah, but we got discounts. You got to go to Disney, and you got to go in free for yourself, and then like half off for your family. So it was nice.
But I would assume, like most theme parks, that shit gets boring.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
like
well,
you're so used to it that you don't have that same. You don't get that same Disney effect as someone that's traveling.
yeah.
from a
No,
certain distance
of course,
and-
but I think it's like that with Disney. But I think when it comes to Universal,
Mhm.
like if you go to Orlando, you go to Universal like 20,000 times, you're gonna always find something different. It's just, even though Disney's massive, they have Animal Kingdom and they got fucking Epcot and Disney and Magic Kingdom and Typhoon Lagoon and shit. But
Don't they have a zoo too?
yeah, Animal Kingdom.
Oh, and okay, that's
Yeah.
it. Okay.
You could stay there and fucking giraffes come up to your window and shit. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And but they have Universal. You go to Universal and they have like Halloween. It has like Halloween Horror Nights, and
Wow.
it's like amazing, dude. They used to have this Bill and Ted thing every year, and I still think they might have it with Bill and Ted. And they always throw in like characters of of movies,
Okay.
and like it's a big acted out thing on a stage.
I would hope that the burnouts would show up during those times. They'd be like, "Who's getting the giraffes high?"
Oh right, dude, it's it's amazing.
Just giving it to giraffe.
Yeah.
Giraffe just, dude, the giraffes are high.
Yeah. I remember I went. I don't like Disney per se, but I went there, and they had this thing called, it was like a Bug's Life. And you go inside this fucking big ass tree and you watch this thing like a theater. And they
I
have
actually
these.
like that movie too. Just
It-
to add.
The ride, or not the ride, but the fucking movie thing sucked. It was like a 3D movie, like a 5-minute 3D movie thing. And you would feel stuff, like, so they would pollinate and they would like kind of spray like a mist on the crowd.
Like Lysol.
Yeah, and then the like a bee would like come up with its stinger, and this shit, the chair would like, it would poke you, dude.
What?
And I remember the pain I felt afterwards. Like, that fucking actually hurt. I don't know if everybody else felt it, but man, I'm like 12 or 14 years old or some shit like that, and I'm like, damn, I want to sue. I want to sue Disney because this shit just stung me in the goddamn back, and this shit hurt.
All of a sudden, you're swollen.
It's like a kidney shot. Just plaque. You're like, what the fuck? You're pissing blood because you went to a Bug's Life at Disney World?
That'd be funny if someone was allergic to bees and they ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, right. Just start swelling and stuff. But yeah, no. I wasn't a big fan of that movie.
No, I
No.
liked it.
I don't know why. I think
liked
it sucked. Was that with Dennis Leary? Was Dennis Leary in A Bug's Life? Wasn't he a
He's in-
ladybug?
I think he's in every movie.
Yeah, he was like a ladybug. That's what the funny thing was about it, was he's a ladybug in A Bug's Life. That's fucking insane. So Red just joined in. Thank you, Red, for coming up in here, bro. Really do appreciate it. So movies, we're moving on. We can move on. We moved on to the sickness that has happened and affected us, and it affected both of us. Obviously, didn't affect my family, but it affected me for sure. Sports, dude. Sports, you know. Everything's disappointing except for basketball this year. The Jets always suck. The Yankees are sucking. I think they'll
Yeah.
turn it around.
Well, they had that late run last year
Yeah.
into the playoffs, but just right now, it's just not good.
It's
I
not.
mean, 9-12. I mean, there's still a lot of baseball to go, but
Baseball's one of those games that, like, if they're kind of winning, I'll start watching it, but I can't bear to watch a loss, especially if it's, like, by one run in the ninth, always, because they just didn't do anything. And I know some of these games are losing by 5-6 fucking runs at a time. I'm watching the scores, but I can't watch the games right now until I know that they're fucking winning. And I'm not a bandwagon. I've been a Yankees fan forever. I mean,
me since 1996.
yeah, but it's gut wrenching, you know. Football, you kind of think any given Sunday because it's every Sunday or Monday or Thursday or whatever, but it's not every day, you know.
Right.
And with baseball, it's like when you lose 4 consecutive games in baseball, I'm like, man, I don't want to watch this shit.
And also,
no more.
like football, it being way less games than any other sport.
Yeah,
the matchups are more important.
exactly.
So, I mean, you're kind of more glued to each game because every game is pretty much important,
Yeah.
especially if you're a mid-level team.
Yeah, and but my team is they've been bad for a long time. So since 2011, so I don't have any hopes, and I didn't want them to trade Sam Darnold. I wanted them to keep him because if they're actually pulling a good squad around him, he could do work. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just think he was always in a bad situation. And last year with fucking Adam Gase, he's the worst coach I ever. Like, he's never made anybody better. He's only been on one winning team, and it was Denver when they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, and he's supposed to be a quarterback guru. And he didn't do anything to help Peyton Manning. He was already Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, garbage. I hate him. I'm so glad he's gone. It's Robert Salah, the guy who's the coach now. He's supposed to be a defensive guru, really good at it, and hopefully he locks it down and helps them out.
What'd you guys do for signings? Anything
Corey
interesting?
Davis,
Corey Davis. Okay.
as receiver, Tevin Coleman, running back, couple linemen, a tight end from Knox, I think his name is, from Buffalo. What's your team?
Giants.
Oh, you're a Giants fan.
Mhm.
So you guys sucked last year too.
Oh man.
But you guys are in like the worst division in football. So you could win like 6 games and like win the division.
See, yeah, that's. I mean, that's what we were banking on last season.
Yeah.
But it seemed like I don't know, it seemed like DJ just I don't know.
Well, losing Saquon was
In like week 2.
yeah,
That
which
was
is
freaking
devastating.
horrible.
And by the way, I retired from fantasy football, so I don't play I won 2 years ago. I don't play it anymore. But he like on my board when I was just doing like things by myself was gonna be my number one.
Yeah.
So when he went down, I'm like, man, I'm so glad I don't play this shit no more. It's so fucking stressing sometimes. Fantasy football is
I couldn't
garbage.
agree.
I fucking
Couldn't
hate
agree
fantasy football. Like, everybody wants to play it with me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. My knowledge, I'll be there, but I'm not going to fucking play it at all. It's so stressing. I'm not friends with
I
people
can't
anymore
even
because
play it without being all in.
Yeah.
Because then I worry too much.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, all right, well, what's my matchup? Now I'm spending 3 hours trying to figure stuff out.
But not only that, you always have like a dickhead like group of people that are in the fantasy football league and they'll trade with each other, but they won't fuck with anybody else.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, we're not playing this right, obviously, because you're fucking grouping up with people.
I remember when Curtis had fantasy basketball going, and I was selling off my players for cash.
Yeah.
Like Moses, I think I forgot who I had, but he bought one of my centers for like $20. I was like, okay.
He's so, dude. I don't even want to get into it about that guy. I don't even talk to him anymore. Like I don't talk to him.
I can't even get a hold of the guy.
He
I like actually reach out and I can't get a hold of him.
He dicked me hard
Yep.
once, and it wasn't even anything like really. It's just it was at a time where I'm like, I was like, you know me, man. I have depression and all this shit, and I go through stuff. I know he does too. He doesn't want to admit that he's bipolar as fuck, but he is.
Well, yeah.
And dude, he was like, I need to talk, and I invite him over to my house. I'm like, come on over, dude. Anytime you want to talk, come over to my house. And he comes over, and he brings his fucking Xbox. And he didn't have internet at his mom's house. So he was just there to fucking download fucking Mortal Kombat on his Xbox. And I was fucking livid. I told him to get the fuck out. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'd let him download it too. And then I'm like, just download it and get the fuck out, bro. And I never talked to him again. And he was my dude for a very long time. I love the guy. But like he just doesn't, he has no empathy for like anybody else. And that to me, like, I'm a very empathetic, sympathetic. Mm-hmm. Like, I try to fucking relate to people and shit. But with him, it's like, no, it's like him. So I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna fuck with you no more. And I just didn't.
Also, like, sometimes just seeing how his level of self-worth kind of brings you down.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't, his vision is too smoky. Like, you try to explain certain things to him, and he just doesn't see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you kind of like you're putting all this effort to bring him out of his funk, but you're getting nowhere.
Yeah, but at the same time, like when a person thinks that they deserve tens, you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like to where, like, look, I think my wife. I love my wife with all my heart. When I was skinny, I probably could get a lot fucking like I could aim high and be okay. But I didn't get fat until after I tore my ACL playing basketball. So like I never really had an issue before my wife, And my wife and I met like online. Like when I lived in Florida and it was on like Yahoo Chat,
Damn.
And it wasn't I didn't intend to fucking meet her ever. Like I came home, I forgot about it. I never signed in, and then I was playing. I got hurt. I think I like broke my toe or some shit. I got on the computer because I'm just like hemmed up, and she messaged me, and we started talking, and eventually we met and hung out and all that other stuff. But I never had any problems like with females.
Right.
It was never a problem, and then like my confidence started to deteriorate when I couldn't do anything physically that I wanted to do anymore. I had no ACL in my leg, none of that shit. And I understand him. Like, it's like he always was a big dude. Since I've known Curtis, always a big guy. He slimmed down for a little bit, but for the most part, he was always a big guy. And he always thought, because of his ex-girlfriend, you know who we're talking about, he always thought when she was like at her peak, he was like, I deserve that all the time. And that's something that you can't get in your head no matter what. I know if my wife ever divorces me, I'm probably dating Forrest, and I'm okay with it. you know?
And then, not mentioning any names, but who we were just talking about, he eventually brought her down.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Like,
it's the reason why the weight gain came and all that other stuff. So
he eventually did what he does to even his friends. He brought her down, and I'm sure she was having, a little bit of self-consciousness, and because she's like, maybe I'm not good enough type stuff. And Curtis, like you said, he's just does not see the light sometimes. He's all about him.
Yeah.
So he's not probably giving her the right motivation, the right attention. Things like that.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's too bad, and I love the guy. I never will say an ill word about him other than the fact that he's kind of an asshole for, like, the way he treats people.
Yeah. But then he has, like, a good heart, too, on top of all that.
Yeah. And you'll see
part.
it. But I can't do the wishy-washy shit because I'm wishy-washy.
Yeah.
I'm fucking depressed, man. I don't want another person bringing me down further. And that's what he would do, is like he'd come down and be like, I can't do this. It's like, I'm just big and I can't do this. I'm fucking big too, bro. Let's fucking exercise together. No, it's like if I do that, and then, it's like I just can't. I can't have that. That to me is almost like it's cancer. Because it grows and it fucking like ruins everything in its path.
Yeah, it
it's
kills
like
your mood.
Yeah,
like I was saying, it brings you down.
Oh yeah.
And and his biggest problem is facing his problems health-wise head on.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, he liked to beat around the bush.
Yep.
And he wouldn't admit certain things.
Yep.
If he would have faced them head on, then it'd be a little bit easier for him to tackle those things.
Yeah.
But if he's lying to himself, how are you going to convince him?
Exactly. So,
love you, Kurt.
Love you, Kurt. I'm sorry. I don't have you on my Facebook anyway, so I don't give a shit. But, love you anyway. But, like, when it comes to friends in general, and I'm not going to name names, I'll say who it is later. Obviously, we'll talk about a little bit of mental health because we've dealt with it for a very long time, whether it's with work or with ourselves or family members or whatever. When my brother passed away, my closest friend, who was my roommate, stopped talking to me, Wow. And that, to me, and you've worked with him, and we worked together, and I worked with him at Foxwoods, and that, to me, was like what that brought my self-worth down, because I didn't know what I did wrong, and I might have dwelled on it, and I might be still dwelling on it, but that's my brother. That's somebody I couldn't afford to lose another brother, and I did.
Right.
And that's what made me even more depressed, because this dude I talked to every day of my life for like 5 years, 6 years. And then he was gone right after my brother was gone. And that shit affected me. And it still affects me to this day because I don't know who real friends are. And I try to, and it was 2 people from the job that I currently work at that were really close to me, to where I was like expecting some type of, I didn't want them to feel sorry for me, but a shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted a shoulder or a person to talk to, and I had nobody but my wife, and I love my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put that on everybody, but how could I explain it without getting upset? Like, I expected somebody to just be there to be like, everything will be all right. Arm around the shoulder,
You didn't seem to have that, so a part of you maybe worries that if things happen bad again, that same situation might happen with another friend.
Yeah, and it's tough because, and that's why I keep everybody at a distance. I don't communicate with people. I don't go out and just hang out with people. Like, you hang out with people that you've been friends with for
I'm a
20,
I'm a
30.
social butterfly.
Yeah,
So I look at it from that perspective.
Yeah, and you've been with people for 30-something years, and I haven't. It's like me, like I've known these people for this long.
Right.
Like I know the same people that you know, and I've known them for just as long, but I'm not going, like, you are a social butterfly. I'm a social retard. Like, I don't fucking go and hang out with anybody.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't, like, me and you talking right now is amazing me, because we'd be sitting at work, we'd have a conversation, and then it'd be silence for like 2 hours because what the fuck? I'm like, should I keep talking? Or should I just let the dude fall asleep? Or, it's like, what should I do? And
Never fell asleep, just so.
no. You actually didn't. Like, the few times that I did work with you, you stayed up the whole night.
Yeah.
And whoever we were with clocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
So, like, no, I want to, but that is what worries me. That's what kind of gets to me about going out and doing things with other people and becoming really close to people.
Yeah, because you feel like building a relationship can mean doom if something traumatic happens.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how other people empathize, So I don't know how other people are going to act to things. And I know certain people don't want emotional shit to happen, so they avoid it at all costs. But it's been 4 years now, and I still haven't heard from the dude. It's
Wow.
like that's what kind of kills me, like, altogether. That's like I've had conversations with my dude Red. My dude Red is probably one of my best friends that I play online with, and I pushed him away, dude. Like, because it was like, if he was like playing with someone else, I get pissed off because I'm like, dude, you don't want to be my friend no more. It's like I'm acting like a little kid here, because I'm like thinking this dude just wants to fucking bounce because every time I talk, I cry about something.
Yeah.
And I just kind of shut that off. Even like I haven't gamed. Like I don't do it as much as I did before. I played MLB The Show, which, by the way, is fantastic on the Xbox.
Okay.
Yes, and it's on Game Pass too. So if you have Game Pass, do you have Xbox?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, get Game Pass and then play some baseball.
Sounds good.
Anyway, so yeah, but that's the way. I mean, you've had like tragedies in your family, and as we all do. Like, it's not uncommon that we have these things happen in our lives, but I'm sure your friends have been, there. And you've been there for your friends, because we've had somebody that passed away a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
To where we've had a few people, and that shit it's tough. And how do you, as a person who's social, cope? Like, how do you cope?
Quite frankly, sometimes I don't think I do it correctly, because sometimes I call myself out on it. Because a lot of times I just kind of eat it and bear it.
Yep.
I kind of don't go out and say, so like let's say you and me, we hang out a few times a week.
Yeah.
We talk every day.
Yeah.
We're texting each other, we work with each other, whatever, things like that. If something tragic happens like that, a lot of times I don't say anything.
Really?
I don't say anything. And sometimes I don't want attention for it.
Yeah.
Because I have a bitterness towards people who give me cliches when something I really hate that stuff.
I do too. I
really hate that stuff.
I don't like sorries.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is, I understand from my mom, because my mom passed away in March.
Yeah.
God rest her soul. But with my mom, it's understandable. She's old. I'm sorry for your loss.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was my brother, it was I'm sorry for your loss, and then they'd kind of try to inquire what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was like a trigger. And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. It was like, you say you're sorry in a message and I'm not answering you, because like,
yeah, I'm very similar to that.
And then people claiming that they were really good friends with my brother when I never heard of them. That was another thing that bothered me.
And something, this is another weird part. Like, when my biological father passed away, I made a post about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of comments and messages and stuff like that, and it actually started to embarrass me.
Yeah.
So I deleted it.
Really?
I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like all these people reaching out because I know they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand my relationship with him. They don't understand certain people in my family. So automatically they want to give me a greeting card. And I don't want that at that moment in time. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
So I deleted it because I said, you know what, man, I'd rather eat it for a little while and then talk about it later, because when I'm in the battle of those emotions, I kind of want to fight solo. It's just the way I am, I guess. And I don't. That's why, like I was saying in the beginning, I think what I'm doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just how I am. I don't want to talk to you about it.
Being apprehensive is okay. Yeah. I think being apprehensive is it's a positive rather than a negative. Like what I do is different.
Right.
When I get the sorry, like I tell the truth of how a story is. Like when I said the things on Facebook about my mother, my mother's with an alcoholic. She didn't get a chance to know her grandkids. And I put that blame on her. I put that blame because it is her fault. She had a choice, and she chose a reckless marriage instead of her children. And she missed out on my brother. She missed out on me, and it sucked.
That's sad.
But I love my mom. I was a mama's boy, So when my mom passed away, my aunt put into like the best perspective that anybody could, because I was like, I regret not being a good son, and she's like, it's not your fault that she fucked up.
Right.
And she wasn't trying to be mean about my mom, but it was like, she was like, your mom had a choice and she made it. Don't let that be on you, dude. You're a good father. And I'm like, kind of right, and it sucked because I didn't like it. To be honest with you, 2 weeks before my mom passed away, we had the best conversation in my life.
Wow.
It's because I
didn't know that.
I had COVID.
Okay.
And I was home. I wasn't talking to anybody. So I started calling everybody like 5 days into quarantine because I was just on the couch.
Bored.
And I called my mom, and she started talking about my brother. And I know she wants to talk about him. But me personally, I was like, Mom, can we just not do this right now? Can we talk just to talk, instead of always bringing up Rich? And she was like, yeah. We conversed for 2 hours. It's the longest conversation I've ever had with my mom in 25 years. So we talked. I sent her pictures of my kids. We FaceTime with Riley. It was all like we were laughing, smiling. It's like, I love you, Mom. All right. And she told me about her heart. She told me she wasn't feeling good. She said she's going back to the doctors. And then 2 weeks later, she had passed. And it was abrupt because she had said she had chest pain, and then she had a seizure, and then she passed away.
Wow.
So it was tough, but I almost had closure because I got to say, I love you, like with meaning, instead of just saying it at the end of a conversation, So that to me was like the most emotional thing was she passed away. I didn't shed any tears. And it wasn't because I don't love my mom, but it was like, I'm like, fuck, like, holy shit. Like I got to have the conversation of a lifetime with my mom before any of this happened, and it made me feel okay and at ease because I got to say I love you, and I got to say, the things I wanted to say without being a dick to her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time I was kind of the dick to my mom because she was always giving excuses to her husband. So, yeah. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it turned out to be okay, and that is, in itself made me feel all right, even though she passed. And when we dude, it was just a whole cluster. We go to the wake, or it's like a do you know what JB Ryan's is? It's a restaurant in Norwalk. My cousin owns it. So they have like this ceremony. Instead of having a funeral wake or anything like that, my mom gets cremated and they put her on this table and everybody pays their respects. They have me go up and talk, but before they do, they ask my stepfather, they say, And he sounds like fucking Sylvester Stallone when he talks. He's a fucking tool bag, dude. He's like the biggest Italian tool bag that you ever could fucking meet. And they go, and I wanted to say it's so bad because the guy was abusive to the day she died. And they're like, do you want to talk before they ask me? And he's like, no. And then he's like, all I want to say is she was an angel on earth, you know. But it was more like, yeah, she was more like an angel on earth. And I'm like, then why the fuck did you beat her, you piece of shit, you know? But then I go up and talk, and I say the things that I say, kind of couple backhand comments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cry. I fucking just say, you know, my mom would fucking go, she had a Rolodex, dude. She'd fucking wish everybody happy birthdays.
Wow.
Tell everybody when someone died. She was that person. My mom was a gossip lady too.
Okay.
So she was like, she'd call, she'd be like, did you hear that Mildred died? And I'd be like, Mom, I don't know who the fuck Mildred is. And she'd be like, oh, you met her when you were 7 years old. It was at your communion. She gave you a check for $25. And I'd be, yeah. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't know what the stop. You know?
You like popsicles?
Yeah. Oh, I got a whole freezer full of them in my cellar. But that's how she was, though. She was the nicest lady in the world, but she was a looky-loo and a gossip queen, and she was great. But I missed out on a lot of it because of my stepfather and all that other shit. Alcohol sucks. You know, I'd rather anybody smoke weed in the world. I don't give a fuck about weed, dude. I told my kid when he was 13 years old, I was like, if you go to a party and somebody offers you a drink, don't take it. But if they offer you weed, smoke the fuck out of it, bro. And he's like, no, I'm good either way. And I never smoked weed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't care if he does. But when it comes to
you
drinking,
never smoked once?
No,
Wow.
never in my life.
Wow.
I've never drank. I used to go to parties, dude. I used to go to parties at UCF in Florida.
Uh-huh.
And I would carry a cup with like ginger ale in it, dude.
Oh my goodness.
And I would just drink
and
it.
UCF too.
Yeah. It was a party school like a motherfucker, and that's when I was
one of the
kind
biggest
of.
ones.
That's kind of when I was like a social butterfly. We used to hang out there. People used to go to this community college called Valencia. We used to go to UCF to go and party, and I go to like every party because I could meet chicks and bang them. And that's all I cared about. Like at the time, you know, it's like I'm fucking sober. Let's fucking knock boots, you know. So,
you had 4 beers?
yeah, let's go home. No, I didn't Cosby him or anything like that. They were totally fucking cool with it. What's up, Go Baller? What's up, Calf? How's it going, man? How you doing? But I appreciate you talking to me, and we're gonna keep talking, of course. But we have to try. We got to do the auto tune thing in a little bit. We definitely got to do a little auto tune. No matter how hard I tried, I'm gonna sing it, dude. No matter what. So when it comes to music, right? I know you're a big music guy, right? And obviously, you have the Ready to Die T-shirt on right
all day.
now. Is he your favorite or
Like, ooh.
of all time? Like, and I'll be perfect
because I'm a music person.
Yeah,
that changes daily.
Yeah,
Daily.
Really?
Daily.
Why?
Because certain things that make them great, I will be on like a certain attribute I'll be all about, but then like I'll be like, well, this guy has this about him, so he kind of outdoes him in this regard. So then like I kind of go back and forth with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, as far as 90s rappers,
yeah,
no question.
I'm not into today's music.
No, and you know
I can't get into
today's. I was having this conversation with somebody. Today's hip hop is so emotional. It is
really?
so emotional.
I don't ever.
It's crazy.
I don't hear hip hop anymore. Like everything
Or
is
rap, like whatever you want to classify it now. You're right. It's not hip hop. It's rap.
Yeah.
Today's rap is too emotional for me.
Really?
Way too much. Way too.
Like
emotional.
what artists are you going with?
Like
right now?
Oh, that I like or don't like.
That you like and don't like. Who do you like right now? Like who's in your Spotify like downloaded music play even when you're offline type of shit? Like top of your list.
As far as like rappers, I don't really like rappers from today. I like certain like art like if today's music would be mostly like R&B.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like the rap from today mostly. I mean, I like J. Cole and stuff like that, but J. Cole's
Yeah.
already like in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
He's not really like young.
Yep.
So really, as far as guys in their early 20s, none. Like
Really?
Zero.
Really? Yeah, I'm not
Really.
I'm not a big everything that I have in my list is it's old
Mm-hmm.
or I'm really weird, but I kind of like Macklemore. I know there's some songs that are just catchy, like the ones with like Lil Yachty and shit.
Well,
Like I like the music. I don't necessarily like the lyrics,
Okay.
but when his like those piano, like the piano hooks that he has on his music are, I like those.
I know, like before Macklemore hit it big, he was actually would be on certain shows with some underground hip hop
Yeah.
artists that I really like. So
Yeah.
I kind of, I mean, they give him his due, so I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really diss him too much.
Yeah.
Because he has a pedigree. He
Yeah.
does, even though his pop records don't show it. He does.
Yeah. Gotcha. And but back then, it's 1996, right?
Oh, my
And
God.
you have your CD fucking player in your car. Wait, when were you 16? 1998?
When I was 16?
Yeah, when you were 16.
No, when I was 16, it was 2002.
2002?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, you're
So,
old. You're an old man.
okay. So, 2002.
Yeah.
You're driving in your car.
Mhm.
What are the CDs you have? The 3 CDs. Three
Alright,
CDs is
so
all
this
you
is
got.
2002, so Biggie and Pac have already
Yeah.
passed. So Nas,
Yep.
Jay-Z, Busta, DMX,
Okay.
R.I.P., M.O.P. I mean, a lot of mixtapes.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I was a big Lost Boys fan.
Oh my
Lost
God.
Boys, Lost Boys.
Nicolette, where you at?
Yeah. No, seriously, Lost Boys are one of my one of my favorites. There was a guy named Nine back in the day. You remember?
Yeah.
In my lights.
The I-N-E.
Yeah, like what you want, Nine? And he was like that raspy dude, and yeah. Remote control
He was dope.
boombox,
Yeah, he
nipping
was
on my
dope.
dresser. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I remember. But
Dude, the Lost Boys though.
Yeah.
I have cousins in Queens, and when I would go visit my cousins, that's all you heard.
yeah,
The Lost Boys were huge.
it was
Oh my
like
God.
it had that like that. Like
Yeah.
it was like a bounce to it, like always, like the Jeep, you know,
Yeah,
the Lex
the Lex
Coupe
Coupe
Beam was
Beam
in the Benz, and it was always like that. Like it was kind of positive, other than Renee.
Yeah,
You know, everything was like really positive and gave me goosebumps when I was a
Yes.
kid.
yeah.
Opposed to, and I love Wu-Tang. I will
Mhm.
always love Wu-Tang, but when it came to like, it was like make you feel good. You could play it in the
Yeah.
summertime driving down the street
Yeah.
with your fucking. If you had a convertible, you had your top down. If you had your speakers up, you would have your windows down. The Lost Boys were my favorite band
So
or my
good.
favorite group to listen to.
They're probably number 2.
Yeah,
Gangstar is number 1.
Your Gangsters, yes.
Gangstar
Yeah.
is number 1 always.
Yep.
But oh man, Lost Boys are Me and My Crazy World, like
Yeah.
all their first 2 albums.
The
are just,
the Legal Drug Money
Yeah.
was definitely
First
my
album.
favorite. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my favorite
Yeah.
of all time
Yeah.
type of deal. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like even when Freaky Top passed, that sucked.
oh yeah,
That
I
was-
think because you're so invested, like especially with DMX, and
Mhm.
you knew he was on drugs, you knew
Yeah.
he was doing his thing, but you still had like this sympathy for the guy because you could kind of see him like deteriorating over the years,
yeah,
and
he was
you,
doing,
s-
and then doing
but then you
silly
see him
stuff.
doing good though.
Yeah.
And then he deteriorated again,
Mhm.
and it's kind of what addiction does, and addiction sucks. And we've gone through having friends that
Yep.
have been addicted, and it always sucks. Don't get addicted, kids. Okay. Too Short, Tupac, the Loonies.
Yeah, Loonies.
The
Yeah, I
Loonies.
got 500. The
I got
remix. The remix
500.
is still real popular in Oakland to this day.
Eazy-E, Snoop, Dr.
Yep.
Dre, Nate Dogg, and E40. You know what?
There
I'm
you
not
go.
I'm not a West Coast guy. Like I couldn't. Even like when the
Little
dog
Half Dead.
Well, when the Dog Pound came out,
Yeah.
like I wasn't a fan when, like you had everybody at one point in time. It was only West Coast shit.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you had Rage come out. You had everybody in the Dog Pound have a record. you had Snoop Dogg, of course, and you had all these guys, and I just was never a huge. And maybe it's because I'm like, East Coast is way better.
Well,
like,
that's really what sprung Biggie's popularity to the masses, was because he was bringing New York rap back.
Yeah.
Because it was dominated by Dre and Snoop in the early 90s.
Yep.
And when Biggie and Nas are coming out, that's Biggie just shot to the roof. I mean, he was a superstar.
Yeah,
in his
and
first album.
Nas is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I like. I don't
One of
think
the few
there's
perfect albums.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's many songs I don't like by him.
Right.
And I mean, Jay-Z had some good stuff at the beginning. All of his stuff started to like be like cop out type shit. He was just making records because instead of actually making it for the love of it.
Right.
Like, but him, it was always like his feeling was into it, you know. Like Nas was always just like boom, 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 and it was like
such
real.
a great storyteller. I mean, that Illmatic album
Illmatic
had an all-star cast of producers. Like, he hasn't replicated that since, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Because
he had Pete Rock, DJ Premier, Q-Tip, like Large Professor. Like, come on, man. What an all-star cast. That's why that album was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
What did you think about like EPMD?
Loved EPMD.
Okay.
Loved EPMD.
Yeah.
I felt so lucky to see them in concert before the pandemic started.
Yeah. Oh, you just recently saw them.
Yeah. They were great. They were freaking great.
Oh, that's awesome. Like I went to a concert way back in the day, and I was like 18 years old. It was called the Smoke and Grooves concert. Nice. And you would get high just fucking sitting there. Like, it was ridiculous.
Pure contact guy.
Oh, dude, it was with who the fuck? Why can't I think of these guys' names ever? I almost said Fushnikins. It wasn't with Fushnikins. It was with what the fuck were they called? There was why can't I think of the name of these guys?
I always love that Fushnikins song with Shaq.
Oh yeah,
I'm the Peter, the Piper, protected by Viper.
Yeah, and he was always doing the dance like this.
Yo, Shaq was the best. Shaq is the best athlete,
NBA rapper
ever.
Have you heard Damian Lillard? Shit?
He's nice.
He's nice.
I still think Shaq is better than
Oh yeah, I think Shaq.
Shaq, the way Shaq can get on a beat. Oh my god, he's been doing it.
I gotta look up the name of what these guys were. Sorry, you keep talking.
So we're still on the 90s.
I think it was 90.
Was it a group?
It was a group. I just don't remember what the fuck their name was. Here's the Public Enemy was on it, but that's not who I'm talking about. Why can't I think of who the fuck it was on this?
So they had to been big because Public Enemy's on the list.
Yeah. It was a big. It was like a 6-hour fucking like concert.
Wow.
Yeah. It was long, and there were Busta Rhymes was there.
Yeah.
Like, there were a lot of people there. It was fucking nuts.
Wow.
And I've never been to a rap concert before, but I've never seen so many white people in my life in a concert, dude. And it was literally from back to front, white people. And it was, but it was Orlando. It was in Orlando,
okay.
dude. So it was like nothing but white people. But I remember, it says Praz. I don't remember him being there. Black Eyed Peas, Gangstar, Cypress Hill, Busta Rhymes.
Cypress Hill's fun live.
Yes, they are.
Anybody gets a chance, go see Cypress Hill live.
Why can't I think of these guys' names? Flavor Flav, Public Enemy, Chuck D.
I would love to see
Puffy.
I've never seen Public Enemy.
Be Real. Who the fuck was it? You know what? I'll think of it and I'll find out when we're not streaming. That's pretty much the way that it will happen. But I remember it was this is gonna bother me all night long now, and I can't find the fucking name of it.
What year was that?
98.
Okay, so I think the Fugees had already broke up by that time.
Yeah, it wasn't the Fugees. It was Praz.
Because when you said Praz,
John Forte and Cannabis. Yeah. But I don't remember there was another group, and they only came on for a short set, but they were fucking amazing. I just don't remember the name of them. Why can't I always talk about it, too. I've talked about it with plenty of people to where I'm like, you remember these people? I've talked about it with Kiefer, about who I've seen. And
that's a guy that you want to talk music. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like big time music. What else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about anything else? Do you like? Have you been watching TV? Have you watched anything
No,
lately?
I haven't watched any TV.
So no, you haven't seen the Mighty Ducks shit.
No.
Game Changers is a life changer.
Is it?
No, not at
Okay.
all. It's kind of a kids show. I mean, it's the Mighty Ducks. Emilio Estevez owns like an ice skating rink, but he don't like hockey no more.
Oh, okay.
There's some kids, like this mom, her kid is on the Mighty Ducks.
It's like the Bad News Bears of hockey style.
Pretty much, yeah. It's exactly what the Mighty Ducks was. You know, it's like a bunch of fucking ragtag misfits, and they put together a team, and they try to. It's pretty good, but it's not the greatest. But it is pretty good. It gives me nostalgia because they just like brought back like the old crew and shit like that of like the old Mighty Ducks and shit.
What about that one guy? The goalie he was like on drugs.
He was on crack, but he
on
got
crack.
clean.
He did get clean.
He did get clean. They got him new teeth and shit. Like he didn't
wow.
have any teeth in his face, so he, like, I guess some guy found him, some like streamer found him like on the road, high as fuck, and he was like down on his luck and shit. And he brought him in and he got him clean, got him new teeth, like implants in his face, and he looks kind of normal now. He doesn't look like. He looked in that picture
horrible.
That's exactly drugs, man.
Yeah.
You know, addiction does that shit to people. It kills people. And I mean, I have a close friend that's going through shit right now, and it sucks. I don't want to see anybody go through that stuff.
No,
but
you don't.
But it's like they've been recovered for a year and a half, like a year and 7 months. But then when shit goes downhill is when they think it's time, you know, I need to make myself feel decent or numb. Yeah. And that's what sucks, is because it's always going to be there, you know, it's like always lingering in the back of their fucking heads.
That's, I forgot who said this, but the thing is that he's the way he worded it was, you're always going to be a drug addict. You know, you're never not going to be a drug addict. You just try to start fresh like every single day. And that kind of stuck with me, because he's right. It's never like that. You can't really kill that demon off. That's always kind of going to be a part of you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like an alcoholic's always going to be an alcoholic. He's always going to have that.
I don't like to call it a disease though. Like that's my thing. Is like I think it's more of a malfunction than a disease, because you broke yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this thing that you can't get rid of now, and it sucks. It's almost like a glitch in the system. Like,
yeah, because I mean, so many people are so different that sometimes you never know what your vice is going to be, and sometimes you make a mistake and you can't get yourself out of it because hey, that's your addiction.
Yeah.
And you're stuck with it.
Yep.
And only you can change it.
Yeah, and it sucks.
It does.
I mean, that's the most that I could talk on it, because other than being a victim of abuse and addiction back then, I knew that guy was a piece of shit before we knew that he was an alcoholic. My mom just couldn't see it. She was kind of like a Stockholm syndrome type of person, to where she she got beaten into submission, and she just stayed with it for 30-something years, so, but my father was an addict, or is an addict. He's been recovered for, I was 14 years old when he got clean, and he's never done anything since.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there are two totally different spectrums, and you have a person that's never going to stop, and it's crazy that my mother, of all people, ends up passing away, and this dude who's ruined his liver for fucking, probably 50, 60 years doesn't fucking pass away, but the sweetheart lady
crazy.
Goes,
Yeah.
So it sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, my dad is living in Florida. He actually works for like a coroner's office. He like collects dead bodies. He goes and picks up dead bodies and brings them to the coroners. So two totally different spectrums, and it is what it is.
That's what it is. It's a spectrum.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody deals with it so differently.
Yeah, of course.
There's no magic set of rules. There's no magic set of steps to take.
Yeah.
It's your journey. You got to figure it out.
Of course, 100%. And drugs and alcohol, porn, sex. I'd be addicted to sex if I had it. anything. I mean, I know it's not supposed to be funny, but I've been married for like 14 years and with my wife for like almost 20. So 19 years I've been with my wife. And yeah, no, we don't. There's nothing. Like, I mean, I'm attracted to my wife. I want to bang her every day, but she don't want to do it. She's done. The baby factory's done. Once we had the second kid, she's like, I'm fucking done. She pieced out. That vagina pieced out. So no
Close
more
for business.
Yeah, well, no issues for you. You have 7 kids, Kelf. Like, obviously, you have no problems in the sex department, bud. Not with me. Like, my wife, she's 2, she's done. She don't want to do. We know you don't have problems, bud. And you have super sperm. You have a kid like every time you have sex. Anyway, so so I appreciate you coming by. And
Absolutely.
I don't want to keep you all night, but I do want to keep talking to you. But we talked about movies. We talked about sports. We've talked about music. We
talked about mental health.
We talked about mental health, and we talked about COVID.
Yep.
And what did you spend your stimulus on? Bills?
I put it on my car.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I took.
When did you get that car?
November.
What is it, Chrysler?
It's a Chevy Cruze.
Chevy Cruze? Oh, how is that? Because we were
Not
thinking
bad.
about getting one.
I mean, it's like the Nissan Sentra for Chevy.
Yeah.
You know, it's good on gas. It
Yeah,
does the
economical
job.
car,
Economical.
small, nice,
And you know, the thing is, it's boring. It's boring. There's
nothing
great
wrong
about
with
it.
there's nothing wrong about boring though. Like, I love boring, dude. And obviously I love boring.
That thing is like a gray suit.
Yeah.
It is boring as hell. But you know,
love
it does the job.
That's
It
awesome.
does the job. If you need something that does the job, that's what it does.
Yeah. Well.
So I just put it towards that. I think I took like $400 for myself and just put the rest
Yeah.
on it. You know.
Yeah. Ours just went for bills. We
Yeah.
just we paid everything off that we owed on anything, like my insurance for the year, and I don't know what else. I honestly don't know what else we spent it on, because money just goes. Like,
It's
there's
crazy.
no like, no.
I used to be like, when I was a kid, I used to be like, oh my God, if I had $10 million, I could rule the world. If I had $10 million
I'd
right
spend
now,
it in 2
it'd
weeks.
be done tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. No, I agree with you.
They'd be like,
100%.
how much hookers and blow can you spend it on? I'm about to show you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're about to see.
You're about to see in about 15 minutes. Flat.
Go to room 152.
Yeah.
Not twice. You're going to see.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the way I think. I'm like, 10 million. Psh,
Yeah.
10 million's like
But
a
can you imagine?
cakewalk.
But, you know, we've all been there when we were kids. We're like, $10 million. I'm going to be flying in the air on a
Oh,
turbo
dude.
jetpack and shit.
Every time there's like a Powerball, I was
Yeah.
like, I hope my mom gets this shit, because, you know,
Yeah. We're going to be living
I'm
large.
gonna be rich forever. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, my God.
No, never happened. You know what though? If I did have $10 million, you know, it's just buy a house. I'd be very, very, very frugal with it. I'm frugal now. You might think that I'm not, because I have a bunch of stupid shit in my house.
Mhm.
But like, I buy everything at a discount. And when I say everything, I buy everything at a discount. If you know who Mike Fowler is, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so he owns VIP, right? And I'm like, dude, look out for a car for me, for my son. And he, like, some dude trades in his car, and it's like this piece of shit Malibu. Dude, it was horrible when we first got it. It was like a tank. It sounded like fucking, but $600, you know. And then I paid for some repairs, and that's what some of it went to, the stimulus. But I paid for some of the repairs. I did the insurance for a year, and you know, I spent less than $1,000 on this car. And it's like, that's how frugal. Like, even if I was rich, I would have bought the same fucking car. I would have talked down discounts. I would have been like, hey dude, I don't really want to spend too much on this shit. So.
100. I know for a fact. See, I'd be a lot better if I got the money now.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd still fuck it up somehow.
Yeah.
I know I would. I just
Yeah.
know I would. because I like.
Well, you'd
I
be
like
going.
to be places.
You'd be into big things,
Yeah,
dude. You'd be
I-
like, let's fly to
Yeah.
fucking New York. It's
Yeah,
like 2 hours away,
yeah.
but you're like, it's a
I'd be like,
15-minute
listen,
flight.
I'm hungry for White Castle. Let's go to New York.
Yeah.
What time does it close?
Yeah, let's
All
go
right.
let's go to Jersey. Fuck it, you know. It's like,
to fuel the jet costs $50,000. Ah,
don't worry about it. I'm
that's
good.
all right.
You know, it's like,
That's
hey, I want Whataburger. I've
Yeah.
never had it before. Let's fly to fucking California and get that
Oh my
shit.
God.
It's, dude, I couldn't. I'd be like, no. For one, I rather fly than drive ever.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how you are, but I'm afraid of highways. I am afraid of it. I'm afraid of everything,
Mhm.
Ruben. Like, everything. Like, and when I say everything, I'm afraid to go to sleep. Like, I don't sleep a lot because when I go to sleep, I automatically think, man, I'm probably going to
You
not
know what?
wake
You
up.
don't sleep a lot.
No, I don't.
You don't sleep.
You
a lot.
like, you'll see me online at like
I'll
3
see
o'clock, 4
anytime
o'clock.
I'm awake during the day. You're awake.
I literally, I'll go to sleep. Like tonight, I'll edit this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll put it onto YouTube. I'll put it onto whatever. I'll take the download. I'll clip stuff so we have funny parts. Put them on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'll do all this shit. I'll go to bed at like 6 in the morning, and then I'll wake up at 9 to just hang out with my daughter. You know, and I don't go to work. Like, my wife is the breadwinner,
Yeah.
so I go to work 3 days a week, dude.
Mhm.
So
Oh, you
I
still
mean,
have that same schedule?
yeah, same schedule. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I just go to work the 3 days, and then I fucking go home, and I do the same shit over again. And my
Yeah.
wife doesn't care because she's like, you're not cheating on me. You're not doing drugs or alcohol. So do what the fuck you want, man. Like, I'm like, can I do this? And she's like, do you think it's going to be fun? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, then fucking do it, man. Like, that's it.
Can we make bunk beds? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's how she is too.
Sean, no power tools.
Yeah. Oh my god, he.
I'm brushing my teeth. That is
Like,
not your
there's-
toothbrush.
There's blood. It's everywhere.
Why did you let us do this?
No, why you let us do this? Yeah.
Deidre, why'd you let us do that? Why'd you let us podcast?
That's pretty much the gist of like the way it goes too. Anyway, what is everybody saying? He is a 3D printer. Nice. Changing the downstairs carpet and vinyl. Oh, that's what you did with your money. Well, you got a lot of money though, bro. You got like 20 grand. So when you say like you bought this, bought that, man, I'm like, I got a lot of money, and I was like, he has 7 kids.
Jesus.
So he got stimulus, and there was no cap on how many kids this time. The first time it was 2 kids, it capped off.
Okay.
This stimulus was $1,200 per person. Yeah. So he got $1,200 times 9.
Damn.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts. That's knucking futz. That is crazy. It's still crazy. It's nuts. Anyway, I said it's nuts. Like,
It's fucking
5.
butts.
Yeah. It's like, hold up one second. Let's try this. No matter how hard I try. And I want you like that. You believe in love after love. Come on, Ruben.
See, you know the lyrics a little bit better than I do on that one.
See something inside myself. Really don't think it's strong enough now. Yeah.
Steer it up, little darling. Steer it up. Little darling, steer it up.
This is awesome. So it's auto-tune if you didn't know. And he goes, how does Buy Me a Drink go? Do you know?
Mm-mm.
Buy you a drink, whoa, you. I'ma take it home with me. Money in the bank. Anyway,
She
so
rock, she roll.
she
riding that pole.
She remind me of a stripper.
You know what's crazy? He can actually sing really well.
Yeah, he sings really
That
well.
blew my mind.
Let's turn this off. Hold up. Oh no, that's a whole bunch of. I'm going through a whole bunch of different majors here. Okay, we're just back to pro. He streams on Twitch,
Okay.
and he's phenomenal.
Wow.
Like, he does his own intro, his rap intro, every single time. It's different every single time,
Wow.
and it's fire. And I don't like saying that. I hate that term. I don't like saying it's fire. But that shit's fire. Like, it is. It is
Lit,
fucking
bro.
in fuego, dude. It is fucking phenomenal. If you get the chance to see him, watch. He plays, like, different games, too. He doesn't only play, like, Call of Duty or whatever. He plays, like, racing games and shit a lot.
Mhm.
So it's actually pretty cool. If you guys haven't watched T-Pain yet, I don't know why you would be listening to my, but he is pretty fucking cool at the stream and shit. So you still work in the same type of environment that we worked in the past, right?
Correct.
And you work at a different facility.
Totally different company, totally different city.
Oh, do you? It's in Groton.
It's in Colchester.
Colchester.
I live in Groton, but it's in Colchester.
Okay, cool. How do you like it?
I like it. The company is way better than where we come from.
Yeah.
Light years.
Yeah. Well, we changed companies.
Right. Still light years from what I've been hearing.
Okay.
From the mess.
If you're hearing it from somebody that we both you know have
Work
had
with.
as a manager
Work
as
with, yeah.
she quits a lot. So, but it is what it is. But it was going
does.
better, and then somebody came in that was like a dictator type of person because
That's
they
what I
were
heard.
from DDS and
Yep.
they drove her out.
Mhm.
But she was doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
She didn't need to. She actually quit once before, and everybody emailed the fucking big bosses,
Yeah.
and she came
I
back.
heard about that too.
Yeah. So it's like, but then she quit again. So it's like, what are you gonna do? But
Yeah.
I only work 3 days a week, so I don't care.
See, like
So.
I went to Melo's job before it got shut down. GameStop.
Yep.
I went to go visit him at GameStop one time.
Yeah.
And he just kind of told me it's just like the same old shit. That not much
I mean,
has really
he's
changed.
and I'm not trying to bag on him or
Mhm.
anything like that, but he's a lead now. So when it comes down to that, his perspective has changed in general. Me
Okay.
personally, I come in, I see better stuff for the people. We
Mhm.
can't obviously talk about it because it's
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
HIPAA, but we see better stuff or better results for some of the people. So you kind of have to go with that. You can't always be like, oh, well, my schedule wasn't the way that I wanted to be, so I'm super mad all the time because I'm angry. It's like, dude, I'm fucking depressed. I'm angry. I'm pissed off at everything. I'm pissed off at the world. I go into work. I'm happy. I leave happy. So, and I've been there for 9 years. So I've noticed progress, but at the same time, they've regressed in some areas, but you've noticed progress. If you came, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I see it, but at the same time, I see the same shit that's happened in the past too, you know. So
I mean, yeah, I'm just going off based off that.
yeah, and
But-
and everybody's opinion is going to be different. But like I
Right.
said, I only work 3 days a week. I'm not
Right.
there 5 days. I don't deal with the drama. There's nobody there that There are people there that I absolutely hate. And still, and you know who those people are. But I don't deal with that person or people. And it's 2 people in particular.
You're still on second, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I don't.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah.
for the most
So
part.
I don't deal with those people. So I don't ever. And I wish you, dude. I know you're never coming back. I get it. But if like, I'm not sexist. I'm not. But we have 90% females now.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So I would rather work with you, you know, and I'd rather work with whoever else. But it's just, it has sucked because they can't go certain places, they can't work with certain people, so we're only working with, and I'm speaking in code right now. I probably shouldn't be. You got $12,700 stimulus, then a $12,700 tax return, so you got $25,000.
Goodness gracious.
You know, $25,400, right? That's fucking nuts. Dude, why don't you donate? You're not even subscribed. You're not even subscribed. You wait. Hold up. I'll talk to you in a second.
Tell them to get on your OnlyFans.
Hold up one second. You've made $25,400 and you're not subscribed. You're not even like a year subscribed. But I haven't been streaming on Twitch lately, so I understand 100%. But still, that's ridiculous. Back to you. How you doing?
Fantastic. But like my company, if I could, like, from the differences that I know of, a little bit more structure,
Mhm.
You know, the only problem with my company is they take forever to hire people.
Yeah.
Where we used to work, we'd get people right away. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
This place is such
It's not like that
it's
anymore, though.
crazy.
And it's the reason why
Okay.
females are hired there now. Is
Right.
because they can't find anybody in this area that is trustworthy to hire. They end up being dudes that end up coming in. They come in like smelling like weed and shit.
Yeah.
And you can't do that at a fucking job interview. What are you,
Mhm.
retarded? You know, it's like, don't do
they
that. You
We got enough of those already.
yeah, and it's nothing. It's nothing like what it used to be when they used to hire people, because it was all dudes.
Mhm.
But they definitely scan a lot more and like go deep instead of just hiring a
Yeah.
person. And I respect it, but at the same time, we're not getting anybody. Like, nobody's. Like, I'm 6'1", weigh 280 pounds. I should get a guy that's kind of comparable to my size to come into the place to help me the fuck out.
Mhm.
But instead, we're getting like, you know, a female that's 5'8", skinny as shit.
5'8's not bad for a girl.
But skinny as fuck, and I'm talking frail, like
Yeah.
skinny, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not sexist. There's some females that are phenomenal that work with us. We have a girl named Jess that works with us, great. We have a couple other females that work with us that are fantastic, but then there's just some that are, they're scared, they're timid, and you know who I work with.
Mhm.
So you have
be like that.
he smells that, dude.
Yep.
He sees it and he's like, he goes after it. So that's why when I see a new person come in, I'm like, man, I want to call out today, because I just don't feel like doing all the work, you know. And I don't call out often. And by the way, they have like sick time there now and shit and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I heard about that.
yeah. So like everything's kind of going on the up and up a little bit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you guys over there need a structure desperately.
Oh yeah, big time.
Desperately.
I agree, and we were getting there, but then our management quits.
Yeah.
So we can't have structure if we never have management. Is that's going to stick by?
It's funny. Guess who messaged me?
Huh?
Guess who messaged me?
What, just
Same
now?
person. Well, I haven't been paying attention, but it's on there.
Yeah. Well, I love that person,
Yeah, me
and I always will, always have love
Mhm.
for that person. But at the same time, I'm like, you could have held on for a little longer, and
Yeah.
that was my only problem.
That's a whole nother thing in itself.
Yeah.
That whole situation.
No, I've been explaining that too. So she said you were mad at her for a long time and shit, and
Ooh.
you like
I got her.
you went to a job and then she quit.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Yeah.
Dude, she's like she's like the runaway bride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she does really. She's what they call, and it's what my boss called her. She's called a fixer upper. Like she'll fix a place, and then she's like Mary Poppins, right? So Mary Poppins fixed a broken family, and then she just bounces. You know, it's like that, because she was getting on that edge, because like we were having a difficulty with a health issue that was happening, and she fixed it.
Yeah.
And then she left. You know, that's like the type of shit that is nuts. But anyway, enough about that. Enough about work. I hate fucking talking about work. I hate it. I can't stand it. I actually just answered somebody today on Facebook because they were talking about it. And I'm like, or they posted something about work in the post, and I'm like, I don't talk about work. Like, that's not what I do. But obviously we worked with each other for years. We've known each other for a while. You are a social butterfly. I'm a social Todd. I look up. I don't look up to you guys, but I can't even put it into words.
You worship us. It's okay.
No,
It's
no,
all right.
you motherfucker. I don't worship you, but I have an affinity for you guys, because I think you guys have a more of a courage than I do, because I can't go to bars. That's just something that I never could do.
Mhm.
Like when I went to parties when I was after high school and in that college phase, like, that wasn't me. That wasn't something that I was ever comfortable even doing, you know? So when I see you guys posting shit, and I mean, sometimes it's much. Like, I'm like, man, these guys just need to stay home for a little bit. But especially Coop, like, I'll be like, dude, you need to go home and just relax, bud.
That's a conversation that we can have off camera, because there's a lot to that one.
Yeah.
Too.
So I personally have, like, I have that for you guys. I think that, like, I respect it, you know, because I can't, and I've always kind of respected it because I look at it as these dudes are living life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I see that you met these people, or you met Alexis Texas, and you, like, got your hand on her, like, that shit to me,
No cap.
like, no cap. No cap, guys.
No cap.
Like, that to me is shit that, like, I'm like, I mean, I met, like, 3 famous people in my life, and it wasn't, I met, like, Donnie Wahlberg. It wasn't even Mark Wahlberg.
You know what? I didn't meet Donnie Wahlberg, but I was around Donnie.
Yeah.
And what's his wife's name?
McCarthy?
Jenny
Jennifer McCarthy?
I met her dad. Her dad is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. He was, see, the thing was, they had that TV show, and this is when I was working at the club. So I go out, and I'm walking out in the front, and Jenny and Donnie are in. They're in the VIP. They're VIP. Her dad is waiting to get in, and the thing is, my guys didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I was like, you're Jenny's dad. He's like, yeah. I'm like, come over here. So me and him, you know, we chit chatted all the way up to the VIP and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Cool dude.
That is pretty badass.
Real down to earth. I love that guy.
I met Donnie Wahlberg at a basketball game, a Celtics-Knicks game. They got beat by 49 points. It was almost a record. Yes. It was when Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce were on the team.
Was that the championship year?
Yes.
Okay.
I tend to always, dude, the last game I went before that, I went to a Detroit Pistons Orlando Magic game, and it was when Detroit went to the finals a few times. Oh, wow. So it was like every time I've gone to, like, a game, the opposite team that I'm watching goes to, because it was in Orlando, the Detroit
last
game.
Last Knicks game I went to was 2012.
Last Knicks game I went to?
That was to see Kobe.
I went and I saw a Knicks Orlando Magic game. I bought 10 tickets for $10 a piece. I paid $100 to sit in the last row in Madison Square Garden. I couldn't even see. Dude, I couldn't see. It was like fucking this big, like, to look at the court. Now, every other basketball court in the NBA, the rafters go up.
Yeah.
Right? So everything seems close. You go to Boston, you go to TD, you sit in the last row, you're still sitting technically in the, like, 19th row because they just go up.
Yeah.
Not at Madison Square Garden. I don't know if you ever sat in the back of Madison Square Garden, but
I never sat in the back, but I was like the second level.
Yeah, no.
So I could see the
I was on the roof. Like, you could knock on the roof from where we were sitting. I'll show you pictures. I'll actually show you a picture right now. But we were there, and the Knicks were playing the Orlando Magic. It was when David Lee, Nate Robinson was on the team. Jamal Crawford was still on the team. Awesome. Yeah, I have his jersey.
Love that guy.
It's somewhere. It's
went
right
to
down
University
here.
of Florida, right?
They were on my wall. Yeah. But not only that, the Knicks game that I went to with the Celtics game, it was Eddie Curry, Stephen Marbury. I was wearing Stephen Marbury shoes.
Oh, the Starburys?
The Starburys.
Nice.
I almost threw them on the court. I took them off and I walked outside with them. It was fucking cold as shit. I never wore them again. I threw them in a trash can.
They were probably
on the way
like paper thin.
No, they weren't.
No?
They were actually pretty decent. The ones I bought, the twos, which were the second ones that they came out with, they were like all black with just a star on the side of it, a blue and orange star, and like the tattoo on his face. And I took the shoes off and walked to the closest trash can and threw them in the garbage because I was so fucking pissed. But I wasn't gonna take my David Lee jersey. The David Lee jersey was still on, but it was Eddie Curry. It was the worst Knicks team. It was horrible.
Was that when Isaiah Thomas was coaching?
It was. I don't remember who was coach. I remember we sat front row. That's where I met Donnie Wahlberg, because when I met him and Ethan Hawke.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they were sitting together, and everybody was yelling "Mark" to him, and I was the only one that said Donnie! Like, I went, Donnie, come here! And he was like, he looked over and he came over to us.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he came over to us and he's like, what's going on, guys? And he looks at me, he goes, I'm sorry. And I go, dude, I'm sorry too. And I was like, I love Jen Saw though. And he was like, ah, ha, ha. He's like, you want a picture? And I'm like, sure. And our fucking camera was taking too long. And I got the picture of that on here too. I'll show you in a few minutes. But he takes a picture, and then Ethan Hawke is like with him, and he's on his phone or whatever. And he was like, do you want a picture of me too? And the dude that I was with, this guy named Justin, didn't know who the fuck he was.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, dude, yeah, sure. I was like, come on over. And he fucking, like, we both do the picture, and I'm like, I love you in Training Day, bro.
He looks short, right?
Dude,
really short.
he looked like a fucking crackhead. He
Wow.
was so thin. I don't know if it was for a movie, but he was so awkwardly thin. Donnie was, like, full. He almost looked kind of heavy set.
Yeah.
But, like, he was wearing a leather jacket, too, though, so he could have been skinny as fuck, too. But, no, Ethan Hawke, he was a little short, but we were standing on, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Boston Garden or whatever, but they have, like, a step that goes down to the court.
Okay.
And he was standing on the court, and we, like just leaned over.
Yeah, so you're like a few inches up.
Dude, I was fucking with Reggie Miller. Dude, I was fucking with Marv Albert. Like, I was yelling to him the whole time, and they had to fucking tell me to leave. They had to tell me to leave. I'm like, Reggie! Reggie! And I was like, and then he wasn't answering, so I started to yell for Marv. And I'm like, Marv! And I was going, yes! And that's all I was fucking doing the whole time. And they're like, you guys gotta go, because we stayed way after the game, and, like, we ended up getting booted, so. But, yeah, I walked with no shoes for, like, a mile and a half to go to our parking.
Damn.
Yeah, because I couldn't.
I just gotta say one thing.
What?
Reggie Miller is one of the worst commentators.
Yes. No.
He's so bad.
No, you know who's bad? Richard Jefferson. He is him and Chris Webber are
Really?
probably
You
yes.
think they're worse than Reggie? Reggie's so corny.
Yeah,
He's just so, and he
I
doesn't have like the voice.
I rather
You know
him
what I
be
mean?
corny, but like Richard Jefferson is like a LeBron dick sucker,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like if he's enthusiastic then, but if he's like commentating on like a Charlotte Hornet fucking Milwaukee game, he's like so. Yeah, he's doing okay. Like it's like
That's how
that
Chris
boring.
Webber is, too.
It's
Chris Webber's real mellow.
yeah, and it's really really boring. If it's not the guy from the MSG, Breen, what is it? Mike Breen is his name.
I think so. Yeah.
He's so enthusiastic. They hit threes and he's always like bang. And I'm like, dude, it gives me goosebumps every fucking time. I love it. Him, Marv Albert's son, does it for the Knicks too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sounds just like his
Well,
father.
also like what Clyde still does comments
Oh, yeah.
for the Knicks, right?
Yeah, bounding and outstanding.
There
like
was one.
you don't even know words,
Dude,
It's-
one thing he said that made me laugh so hard was this one guy. They just got this guy from the G League, and he goes up and he misses a freaking layup.
Thank you, Hellhound.
He misses a layup, and Clyde goes, "Well, that's why he plays in the G League, folks." And I laughed so hard.
He does it
I
all
was
the
like,
time.
Clyde, you're the man. For
He
saying
does it,
that.
dude. He does it all the time. He and the thing is, and what I like about New York media rather than Boston is Boston, like they're cocksuckers. Like they are all on Boston's dick. Like a New York will be like, "Oh, get this guy out of town.
Yeah,
he
they're
fucking
quick
sucks."
to call him
Oh
bums.
yeah,
Oh my god,
dude. In a second, Boston, it's like, "Oh no, well he missed 7 shots in
You
a
know
row.
what? You
He'll
need
be
to-
all
you
right."
need- You need to come to a Yankee game with me.
Yeah.
Listen to those freaking animals.
Oh, dude, I've been to a Yankees.
Oh,
Dude,
my
there was a
God.
Yankees game where somebody was wearing like an Oakland A's jersey that came in, and they assholed them out of the fucking park, dude.
Okay.
And this was in the bleachers, and the bleachers are the worst
Yeah.
because they're like fucking. You could have bought tickets like for like $7 back in the day, and they were just like asshole, and they started fucking like throwing like Cracker Jacks at the guy. And they just walked him out. They didn't even walk the people out that are throwing shit at this dude. They walked the guy out that was paid for his
abused.
ticket, and he got abused, and they walk him out.
Listen. I was at a Red Sox Yankee game in the Bronx, and this guy's talking. We're beating him. This guy is just talking shit. He had like spiky hair. He got a Red Sox jersey, And this one old guy's goes, "Nice haircut, asshole!" And then they just start throwing popcorn at him and shit like that. He's like flipping us off. A girl that I don't know if that was his girl, but someone in his party, she had a little like pink, like Red Sox, like those windbreaker hoodies.
Yeah.
The girls in the Bronx, the Yankee fans are going, "Whore!" Dude, I'm laughing. I'm belly laughing. I'm just watching these animals go at it, and it was so refreshing.
I got kicked out of Dodd.
Really?
Yeah. I got kicked out of Dodd because of a house mom, like one of the people that takes the like minor leaguers in.
Yeah.
Complained, but not only that, I told the ref or the umpire because it was a crazy game, and it was like the 8th inning, and the ump got hit in the neck, and I go, "That's what you get, you cock." And the fucking lady, she's like, "You shouldn't be talking like that," and I said, "You obviously don't know fucking baseball." And I was like, "I'll talk what I want," and then all of a sudden, down every aisle, because the seats are empty. They all just kind of started to converge on me, and I'm like, "What's going on, guys?" And they're like, we have to remove you," and I'm like,
Was that when they were CT Tigers still?
They were the Tigers. Okay. Yep. And me and Bobby don't talk anymore, but when me and Bobby would go, dude, it was brutal the whole fucking time. Like, we were just ragging on dudes. Like, a guy would be pitching, and we'd be in the front row, and Bobby would lay down in front of me, and I'd have his arm, and his arm would just be going like this. I'd be like, hey, fucker, you forgot your arm. And he'd just be like this. And, dude, we'd rag on dudes all day long, and it was so much fun, but I haven't gone there since I got kicked out. But I plan on bringing my individual with us to go the next time.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we should meet up definitely.
We could do that. I also
because now they're like the sea unicorns. If you didn't know,
the place that I went to work right after, we were going to Yard Goats games.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. I miss doing that.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about work again, but that's one thing that I've benefited throughout the years because, like, the family likes me, and. It's always kind of been a mellow thing with them, and it made the job a lot easier because you have a little bit more slack on what you can do or where you can go. It's like he wants a mohawk, we give him a mohawk now. Like, it's all we have to do is call. It's like that's the way that it's kind of been lately, and that's what I like about it, and that's why
you don't normally get that. Especially with families.
Yeah.
You don't normally get that at all because, they feel entitled. But then they're the ones that can't deal with them, but yet they got all these.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I don't want to get too much into that because of the law.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But did you have a good time, or have you had a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I'm having a great time too. I love
this
talking.
This is going a lot easier than how I envisioned
way
it.
Easier than I thought. Like, we were gonna have struggles talking about topics and just sitting here in a lot of awkward moments where we'd have this.
How was your day?
Like this?
It was fine.
But yeah,
that's what happens when Sean opens his legs.
Yeah, right. No, this is what happens when I open my legs. Just a bunch of little kids just yelling yay. No, I'm kidding. Oh, man. But yeah, that's supposed to be a laugh.
What's his name's about to start knocking on the door.
Oh, yeah. No, don't say names. Don't say names. But I do appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Salt, if you want to play some pub in a little bit, give me a shout. It's only 12:26, and I know it's only like 11:26 where you're at. So, you don't mind it being that late, do you?
No.
Okay, cool. How far do you have to drive? You got to drive pretty fucking far, huh? Or are you going to chill with them? Or are you going to chill with someone after this?
No, I'm not. No, because Sunday is my long day, so I just use Sunday night to just chillax.
So what days do you have off exactly? Just Sunday,
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Sunday temporarily. I work a little bit earlier, so I get out a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay, I get you. Now, what time do you work to?
Normally,
usually 12
midnight. Yep.
I don't like that shift. I wish the shift went to 11 because it's not that next day shit like the way our job.
It's easier to keep track.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather it just be. You know how many new people fuck that up, dude? Like all the time.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's like,
can
I
imagine.
thought I worked on Friday. It is Friday.
What's your hours now? Or
Same.
still?
Same.
What were they?
4 to 12.
4 to 12?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I work Thursday and
Yeah.
Friday. and
Yeah, but
Saturday.
the thing is, you're a second shifter like me, so I'm up
Yeah.
really freaking late. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, I'm up all the time. Like
You're
I
up
don't sleep.
You just don't sleep.
I do not sleep.
Me, I just go to bed late.
I'm what they call like a functioning insomniac because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who will fall asleep during work or do whatever. I don't, dude. I just stay up. My anxiety is so bad, especially when working, that it doesn't allow me to.
Has Mello ever showed you those videos that I would send him of the sleepwalker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and he showed me the one where you remember the one where you put your fucking Mo put his finger
That's
in the
what Mello. That was on Mello.
Yeah, I know.
That was
I
on
remember.
Mello.
He like choked a little bit.
No, he
Yeah.
covered his face.
I'm gonna picture that. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a story here. We had a guy who falls asleep at work, and he kind of falls asleep like sitting up like this, but he had his mouth wide open, and a dude at work put his finger through his dick
pants.
hole in his pants, and he stuck his finger in the dude's mouth. It was the funniest fucking thing in the world. This dude has video on it, so it's the funniest thing in the fucking world. I wish I could show you guys, but unfortunately I cannot. But it was funny as hell. We had good times. I think
Definitely.
with that crew of people
Yeah.
that we had
Absolutely.
back then
Absolutely.
was the best. And like people will tell you now, like anybody that works there,
Yeah.
like will tell you straight through, even with all the like no call no shows, you saying that you're gonna be late because you watched Avengers, you piece of shit. Like
I do
like
that?
you did. You didn't tell us what it
There
was.
was one time Aaron got so mad at me because I went out on a date and the movie ended up later than what we
Yeah.
thought. So I was gonna be like a little bit late, and I was honest.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, man, I was out on this date, whatever." Aaron took it personally.
Yeah.
He wrote. It was the first. He wrote me up and everything. I just crumpled it up.
Yeah.
I'll never like. Me and Aaron are tight.
I'm
So-
not. I don't talk to him.
Me and him are still talk. Me and him are still good friends.
Yeah.
And it's just funny that he was that mad.
Yeah. No, I don't talk to him anymore, and
Yeah?
it's only because he I'll talk to you about it later,
Okay.
and it has to do with work,
Okay.
and it was just shit that I just couldn't unsee, so I don't fucking like him,
All
and
right.
you probably won't either after I tell you. So
Oh boy.
yeah, it's pretty big. Anyway, so
Juicy.
I don't know, like I've had really weird relationships with the people there. Like I have like these relationships to where I either hate somebody or I like them. There's no in between. Like there's zero in between.
Mhm.
I have people that I won't fucking say a word to at my job
Oh yeah.
because I do not fucking like them, and I don't like the way they carry themselves, and I don't like the way their cocky persona is. And I've been there for a long time, and I don't even do that shit. So I take it as like an insult almost, because I'm like, if you're gonna act like you're the best, then be the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's pretty much the.
Yeah. Cockiness without leadership.
What song was I just thinking of right there? Oh, if you can't be the greatest, you got to be the greatest yourself. Busta Rhymes.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That was.
Does that give me some more?
Give me some more. That's
that
right.
give me some more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like as a shorty told me if I'm gonna be part of the
Greatest,
greatest,
I gotta be the greatest myself.
Come on.
But yeah. So have you been playing any games? You haven't played any games for a while.
I play like here and there because really like what I'm playing is just stuff to like kind of pass the time a
Yeah.
little bit. Haven't gotten anything really into anything current,
You know me.
but I got to change that.
You know me. It's always the same shit. It's been
Yeah.
the same shit for like 4 years.
You know something? You talk about like PUBG.
Yeah.
And what else? What are your mains?
My main is pub.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much it. But I just downloaded the beta for this game called Chivalry 2. If you guys haven't played Chivalry yet, Chivalry 2 is coming out in June, and it's a medieval game. And you're pretty much, it's a battle. It's 32 on 32. And you just run into fucking battle and you chop each other's heads off and shit like that. It's fucking legit, dude. It's a lot of fun. I used to play part 1 on the PC a long time ago, and then it came out on Xbox. Nobody played it. So, because nobody said it was coming out, it just came out and nobody played this shit. I'm pretty sure the servers are shut down. But, dude, I'm a Red Dead guy. I play Red Dead. The story, I've beaten it like 7 times.
No shit.
And every time I beat it, I find something different in the game. So I kind of just keep going around and doing the same shit. But I like it, man. Like
Red Dead no, I won't disagree with you at all. Red Dead 2 is amazing.
Yeah, it's graphically insane. The storyline is ridiculous. Why don't more fucking companies take the time out to take 5 years to make a game? You know, because Call of Duty comes out every fucking year. They always are the same, or they just suck. Same thing with like Assassin's Creeds and all those other games. Like I just don't. I can't.
If I could only guess, I think a lot of other gaming companies, don't have kind of like the leeway that Rockstar gives their development teams, because they all have deadlines. They all have to get this done by this such and such time. Where I think Rockstar has a little bit more leeway. They're like, we want to get this right before we get it out. Like, look how long it took them to make the Grand Theft Auto and all that stuff. It takes them forever. Yeah. But other gaming companies, they like with Cyberpunk and all that stuff, it was a ball of shit when it came out. Yeah. But they have to meet these deadlines because, the CEOs want this. They want that. So
and I don't know, like I think shit gets rushed by fans though too.
That could be another factor.
Service, especially because you show Cyberpunk 2 years ago when they brought it to E3 and Keanu Reeves was on the stage and shit, and it looked phenomenal. And you have all these people that want the fucking game so bad, and they say a release and they have to delay it because shit goes wrong. And then they're like, "No, you can't fucking delay it." They don't end up delaying it. They bring it out almost on time. I mean, it was delayed twice, but still. It was years away. Like, it probably wouldn't be coming out until like 2023 because the game just wasn't ready. And by the way, if you want another drink, the fridge is right there. You grab as much as you want, sweetheart. Okay, as much as you want. But it is like, to me personally, like, I don't like those type of games. I don't like Fallout. I don't like any of that shit. That's a Red thing. Red loves those fucking games. But I think if companies took the time out, like Ubisoft comes out with games all the time, right? So they have the money, they have the production. It's like EA, right? So Rockstar, they're a big company, but that's because they make most of their money on microtransactions. So you have the shark cards, you have all these things that are online, you have all the mods and shit like that you could do on the PC, and they pay for stuff. These games just aren't doing it right. Like, if you made an Assassin's Creed to the quality of Grand Theft Auto, you're talking about one of the greatest games ever, because they're good, but they're always glitchy. They always have problems. Like, they're never perfect. I was on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I went to go park my boat, and my boat was still there. Like, it stayed, and then it couldn't get out because it was stuck in between two boats. So I'm like, I'll reset the shit. I'll fucking go back. It did it again. I'm like, fuck this shit. And this is the first level, like the first 2 minutes of the game. I downloaded, I uninstalled it, re-downloaded it, got on the boat, did the same fucking thing on accident again. I deleted it. I paid $60 for the damn game, and never played it beyond fucking 10 minutes because the same shit kept on happening that didn't need to happen. And I can't play a poor quality game. Like, if it's not like fucking high quality, well, I can't say that because I played Pub for a long time. Pub is just complete ass, but it's an online multiplayer. That's the only reason why I play it. But playing a single player game, I expect the world. I want quality. Like, when I sit down and play a game, I want to fucking sit there for hours and just sit down and play and be able to pause it whenever I want and fucking go and get something to eat, hang out with my daughter, do whatever.
I like that too. I love when it comes to single player games. I love good stories.
Yeah.
I like how games nowadays you're pretty much playing out a movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's cinema now.
Yeah,
it's pretty much cinema.
It is.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
So what's your favorite game of all time? And when I mean any console, any fucking arcade system that you ever went and played with at the arcade, any PC.
See, I have to separate those two.
Really?
I have to separate arcade and console.
Really?
Because yeah, we grew up in arcades, and the type of games that I enjoyed only in arcades didn't
transition over
to home consoles as well.
Yeah.
It's just the technology wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed playing that game way more in the arcade than I would at home.
Yeah.
So I separate that because arcade, for all the kids.
I respect it.
For all the kids that missed that era.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You missed
the greatest era ever.
You missed the best shit ever.
Although I rather not spend fucking $65 on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it's a half an hour game, you know?
I tell you what though, like when we go to the skating in Plainfield,
yeah,
and they still had the X-Men arcade
yeah.
game.
Oh,
we all would fight for the characters that we wanted and all that. Like you don't do that no more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, no, I'm Colossus. No,
Yeah.
I'm Colossus. Not like, no. We're either gonna fight for 5 minutes or you're just gonna give it to me.
No, I'll be Cyclops.
I mean? Yeah,
I'll be fucking up Cyclops all day long. With that
I remember
shit.
JoJo was always Nightcrawler. I was always Colossus, and we would swear to God we would throw down if anybody tried to take that from us. So, but yeah, it's like games like that, like games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. That's you had to live that arcade life, and that's why it was better that way.
Yeah,
it was better living the arcade lifestyle with those games. NBA Jam.
Oh yeah,
things like that. It's better living the arcade life with those ports than it is at home. It's not the same, you know.
Yeah. So what's your favorite arcade game?
Arcades. I was a fighting game fanatic. So the
Street Fighters and
Mortal
shit.
Kombat, Street Fighter, that Tekken.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I'm a Mortal Kombat fanatic because I loved comic books growing up, and Mortal Kombat was the perfect fighting game to transition from comic books because the characters were so cool.
Yeah.
So MK home. I'd love the Grand Theft Autos like Vice City and San Andreas.
Yeah.
Because when I was a freshman, so we would just play those games to just waste time. You know what I mean? But the stories were great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would go that home consoles. I love Vice City, San Andreas. I love the Batman Arkham games a lot.
Yeah.
Resident Evils a lot. Those type of single players because I was more I'm more into the story than the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Some people live the multiplayer life. They gotta have it like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
oh no,
but the thing is, the arcade life. If you missed it, you don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure. And most of these guys on here are about our age and between our age.
Yeah.
So they get it.
They'll get it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. When it was an arcade game for me, it was The Simpsons. The 4-player fucking Simpsons that you could play. That and Ninja Turtles and X-Men. Those same type of which they sell on the arcade 1-up arcade things now. They sell the actual things at Walmart or whatever. I want to get this whole wall filled.
The NBA Jam one is gorgeous.
Yes. They're all, dude. They have the Ninja Turtle one with the 4 things now. They only had the one with the 2 at first.
Oh, they did.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then
First
they
time
came
I saw
out.
It, they had the 4.
Yeah, they came out with the one that's 4, and it's wider and it's way better looking.
So dope.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get it, but I don't know when. Maybe if we get another stimmy. I don't know. Maybe if Calf wants to fucking donate some money of his $25,000, says he has to go to school. Whatever, man. Anyway, so mine would be The Simpsons. The Simpsons overall, the video game, because I don't know. It was just that I would go to this place called Eastside Variety, and it was a store in Stamford. It was like this little bodega, and you go in it, and you could order a sandwich or whatever, and right beside the fucking the tabletop for the sandwiches, you would just be able to play Ninja Turtles and The Simpsons side by side. So I would get like $10 from my mom and just go up there and spend all my money on that fucking sandwich, and because the sandwich was like $2.50 back then.
Yeah.
It's like a bacon, egg, and cheese fucking sandwich, huge, for like $2.50. I spend the rest of the money on this fucking arcade, and it was like you said, it's like the best time because you're like with your friends and you're just chilling, playing video games. And when I was a kid, track and field was my favorite game, as on the regular Nintendo.
Yeah, I was about to
with
ask
the
you to
pad,
talk about the Nintendo one.
with the pad to where you could run on it, because me and my brother would fuck shit up on that. We'd just get down on our hands though, and we do it like if we did the long jump, we would just let go and then put our hands back on it, because people used to jump with their feet, and we're like, that's rookie shit. We would fuck around with that. But that was like my favorite game as a kid.
Yeah.
As an adult, Red Dead is way far ahead of any other game that I've played in a very long time. But I mean, I had other favorites like the Lord of the Rings, like 2-player or 4-player game on a PlayStation 2, I think it was. And that's pretty much it. Like I wasn't really. I played all the GTAs. I played all that shit. Like I never really. I liked 3 because 3 was the first that came out on console, and then the other ones are great.
The first two were on PlayStation 1,
but they were the top
they
view.
were the bird's eye
the top view, yeah.
And then the 3 was the whole sandbox.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, and Crazy Taxi was my shit.
Dreamcast days.
Fucking Jet Set Radio Future on the fucking Dreamcast. Or did you ever play that game Seaman?
No.
Oh, dude, it was the most weird fucking game you could ever play, because it was this little shrimper.
Sounds like something Mello would play, because he likes semen.
Oh, he does like semen. Yes. No, but it was like I would say it was like a tadpole or some shit like that, and you would play and you would just feed the thing and it would talk to you. And you like in Dreamcast, they had this mic that you plug into the fucking top part, and the mic stuck out of the thing, and you would talk to the thing. You'd be like,
shit.
yeah, you would actually talk, and it would have conversations back to you. And Leonard Nimoy, Spock, he was the narrator of the game. So it was like you just talking to this fucking shrimp or tadpole or whatever the fuck it was. And then like most people would just go into the BIOS of the game and then change the fucking date so it would be older, because it would start off as a tadpole and then it would end up as like some type of frog with a human face. It was fucking weird, dude. It was weird.
Sounds fucking weird.
But it was one of those unique games that you kind of just fucked around with or had to when you were, a kid playing video games. And Kid Icarus on the Nintendo was one of my favorite games also. And that's just a platformer. It was Kid Icarus had the wings. You could jump up. He had the bow and arrow. You just fucking shoot dudes. And
well, like also like classic console games. I mean,
have you ever played Rygar? Did you play Rygar? Oh, Rygar was legit, bro. Rygar had like a chain, and he would like shoot the chain off, and he was kind of like Scorpion, to where he'd like it would hook onto a wall, and you would be able to zip through and fucking shoot dudes while you're zipping through. It's kind of like Contra.
Oh shit! Okay.
But it was with this dude that zipped through this shit. It was fucking badass.
But like games like that, I love Contra.
Yeah,
was one. Ninja Gaidens.
Ninja Gaiden is great.
Oh my god.
Shinobi was, and that was in the arcade too. And you'd be doing that shit with the ninja stars and shit, and like it was great. I loved it.
Like, man, you're taking me back. Like, did you ever play Rocket Knight Adventures on Sega Genesis?
No.
That's a little unsung, pretty like unknown great game, because it was like it had like a Sonic feel, but it wasn't like you weren't like running through the stages. You were kind of like rocketing through. Yeah. And you're like this little like mouse with this kind of like this heavy armor and stuff like that, and you're trying to kill all these war pigs, and it was cool. And the game music was great. The game music was so good.
Did you just say Papa the Raper? You mean Parappa the Rapper?
Kick, punch. It's all in the mind.
I remember it.
It's all in the mind.
Yeah, Parappa the Rapper was the shit. That was the first PlayStation game. But that was on the demo, though. That's why it was the first PlayStation game I ever played. Because on the PlayStation 1, it came with a fucking demo.
Yeah, they all did.
Dude, and for like 3 months, when that one was. I didn't have any games. It was just the demo that I would play. The game, the three.
Remember how expensive PlayStation games were?
Oh,
when they first
yeah.
came? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, dude, my father's literally owned like all consoles, and we used to own this 3DO,
Oh yeah.
and the games were like fucking $90, bro. They were made on CD. It was before Sega. It was after Sega CD, but it was when DVDs were just about to start coming out.
I still have. You can Google this if you want. I still have a JVC XI, and I looked up how much they're worth on eBay. And I still have the box too.
How much?
Like $600.
Fuck, dude. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a JVC.
I wouldn't
XI.
sell it though.
I bought it for the nostalgia. I bought it like early 2000s. I got it for like $30 because I remember playing it as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wonder if they still got those JVC XIs. So I bought one with box and a bunch of games. So basically, what it is was this is for like rich people or well off people.
Yeah.
It's karaoke / Sega Genesis, but the karaoke CD-ROM plays Sega CDs.
Oh.
So you could play Sega CDs on the ROM and karaoke CDs. It was like a multimedia thing that JVC did with Sega together.
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, they did it together, and then, like I never saw them because that thing was expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
So I never saw them, but when I would go visit my grandmother, the neighbor had one. And man, I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I didn't even know this existed.
That is pretty badass.
So it had a Sega cartridge, had a CD-ROM cartridge, and you could play whatever.
That's cool as shit.
Right.
Sega CD was one of my favorite consoles.
Yeah.
And what was it? Night Trap. Do you remember Night Trap?
I don't think so.
Sewer Shark.
Did you ever play that boxing game
on
Sega
CD?
Yeah. It was extremely hard.
I don't
because
remember.
it was a first person view.
Yeah. Were the hands like see through almost?
No, not at all.
Oh.
And the thing was, the whole thing was in black and white, but it was recorded. It was recorded
with real people.
With real people.
That's what I loved about it, though. Like Night Trap was with the chick who was on Different Strokes, the sister.
Kimberly.
She died
Kimberly,
or whatever. Yeah, she was on this game called Night Trap, and it was sorority girls. And they'd be changing, and there would be these creepers that are trying to get in the windows, and you would have to set the traps so the night creepers wouldn't get into their rooms and shit.
Right there.
Dude, it was so fucking cool. And Sewer Shark or Ground Zero Texas, Ground Zero Texas was cool as shit because it made you feel like it's the end of the world. Because they're like, it's up to you to get this done, soldier. And you're like, what the fuck? And you're like thinking as a fucking 12-year-old kid, you're like, I have to save the world. This shit's gonna get fucked, you know. And it was just phenomenal. But it was all like turn based. You had to do it at the right time instead of actually like aiming, you know. So it was cheesy, but it was really good. I had a lot of fun with it.
Game.
Oh yeah, and Sega CD was I fucking loved it. Like that was the one console that when I was a kid, I was like, we had to go to the video store to rent it. You remember that? You remember going to the video store to rent consoles and shit?
I used to go to Movie Express right here in Plainfield, Video Galaxy.
Yeah.
All the time. And the funny thing about it was you always saw your friends from school.
Yeah.
You always saw their asses.
Yeah,
there.
you always saw
what
somebody.
What are you getting?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm getting this, and we're like, oh fuck, we were gonna get that.
Like
Now
you
there's
rented
only one.
you rented all the Matrix movies. There's not one for us now.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Watch the Matrix now.
Yeah, that's how it was, man. Though, but I remember going to like renting it. We rented a camcorder once at a video store. I remember being able to do all that shit. It was so weird. Like you would do like a $200 deposit.
What?
They give you your money back after it would come back if it wasn't broken or whatever. And yeah, it, like back in the day, it was so much cooler than it is now because everything is made lazy. You know, it's like made. It's just like the words we talked about. You know,
everything's too instant.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's streaming. Nothing's personal, and there's still a Blockbuster left. You know that, right?
It's in
Oregon.
It's
in Oregon.
Oh, it's in Oregon. Okay.
Yes, I watched a documentary on it.
Yeah,
just 2 days
that's in my
ago.
queue. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. There's some good moments in it, and it does bring you back, and it's pretty fucking legit.
See, I saw like before the documentary came out, I saw a news clipping, news video on it, real short one, and I was like, damn. Yeah. I was like, it looks like it never stopped. Like the whole interior looks exactly the same as it did in like the early 2000s.
Yes, it does.
I'm like,
I'd rather not have a shit ton of DVDs to be honest. I mean, now that I think of it, I was saving DVDs and I had thousands of them, and it was like, and thank God, like we had water damage in my last place because they all got ruined.
Fuck.
And I was thinking, man, like, oh fuck, but you can't go to Strawberries or whatever to FYE to trade in shit anymore because they didn't have any. They don't have any anymore, so there's no audio stores. You can't. You used to be able to go everywhere just to.
I have similar feelings, but let me tell you what I've been doing is I still like something that's tangible.
Yep.
So I've been like buying like limited edition steelbooks of like all my favorite movies, because the thing is like I'm not buying like movies just to have movies. I kind of already have these movies, so literally I'm just buying them just to have them. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like they're my favorites, but like it's like a limited edition steelbook. It has pretty cool artwork on it, and it's kind of something that like that's nice to have. But I'm not like replacing like my whole movie library with it, but like my favorites,
Yeah.
I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, I just had too much. It was way
it could
more
be
of
like
a
that.
hoarding mentality than like a let me get these DVDs just to get them. And some of them were unwrapped. I never even unwrapped some of them. It was just let me get a shit ton of DVDs and not do anything with them. I never even watched them. It was sometimes I just got just DVDs just to get them.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like saying. I was like,
Yeah.
But like when they came out with certain like movies or like special steelbooks like with like cool artwork, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get it. Why not?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, like if it's good not to have that clutter. You're right. It's good to like not have like 250 movies just sitting in a
Yeah.
corner
And
that you watch like 10 of them.
yeah, and it's always the same ones. Like I told you, it would be like Napoleon Dynamite and Four Brothers. It wasn't anything else. Like I had shit tons, but those were the ones.
I think I still have Grandma's Boy in my Xbox. I don't think I ever took it out. It's been in there for like 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
Because how like I
It's a great movie.
I download all my games.
Yeah.
But it's still in the Xbox.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
all
sitting
my
in
shit's
there.
digital. If this thing was on, I'd figure it'd probably have that shit in it. So.
So now you have been building PCs lately.
Uh-huh.
Are you thinking about going next gen as well for consoles?
I already am.
You are.
This is a Series X. right
Okay.
here.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I built the PC because I was gonna build it for my son, but he doesn't. He already has a PC, and it's pretty legit. Like it's pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
I built this one because, like I just wanted him to stream. Like I've been wanting him to stream rather than me streaming. I'm like, do it, dude.
Does
It's
he like it?
he doesn't go anywhere or do anything. So I kind of wanted, like, I broke out of my shell a little bit doing it. It's out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? So it being out of my comfort zone is the reason why I want him to do it, because we have the same quirks. There's, the social thing going on, and he's not probably going to ever break out of that. And he's gone to places, goes out, but he's like, I just don't enjoy it. And he's the same way that I am. So I'm like, do this. It's almost therapeutic,
Yeah.
Me talking to you, I'm going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, because half this shit's in my head and I don't get to process it with anybody.
Well, I've been watching those videos you've been putting out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know you're not trying to,
What?
but you're asking. It's almost like I want to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're like-
when my wife left, she's like, "Is it helping?" Like right before she left. That's the point. Like, my talking, like playing video games, I'm just focused on that and not focusing on the person that I'm necessarily playing with or the people that are talking to me in the stream. So when I'm talking and talking to someone or trying to put the word out that mental health is a big thing, it's affected me. You know, bipolar disorder sucks.
It does.
I'm either manic or I'm fucking down in the dumps, dude. There's no in between. And no matter what type of meds I'm ever put on, I'm never going to feel right. It's always going to be numb or I'm going to be going through these emotions. You know, so me talking and doing those videos on Facebook is something that I almost need to do as of lately, because about 3 weeks ago I wanted to kill myself. And 3 weeks before that I wanted to kill myself. And 3 weeks before that I wanted to kill myself.
All right, so what week are we on right now?
We're on about the second week.
Okay, so next week, everybody check on Sean.
Yeah.
Send him,
but
I don't know, send him whatever
just
the hell
because
you want to send him.
I think suicidal thoughts are different than wanting to commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to kill myself. I feel like I should.
Okay.
Like, my thing is that sometimes I think existence doesn't mean anything. And I don't want to be here because I'm tired. You know? I'm just fucking tired. I don't sleep enough. So I'm like, I get emotionally tired. And, like, the baggage that I carry in my head kills me. It fucking, like, painfully hurts. It kills me. So, and I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to do it. But, yeah, right? So, it physically hurts. But it doesn't only physically hurt, it mentally fucking hurts. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to put it on my wife. I don't want to put it on you. I don't want to put it on my son. I don't want to put it on my daughter. But I also don't want to do anything to myself and put that on them either. Because my brother did that to me. Mm-hmm. And that's going to affect me for the rest of my life. It's going to affect my son for the rest of his life. You know, so when my mom died, and this is kind of an emotional story, but I'm not going to fucking bawl about it. But I just wanted to be alone, and it wasn't for any reason. It was just my mom passed away. I didn't want my daughter crawling on me. My daughter kind of got the vibes. I don't know how she does it, but she like got the vibes of me, like, "What's wrong, Dad? What's wrong?" And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, you know. So I told Deidre and I told my son to go with my wife, and I'm like, go. Like, just go out for a little bit. I just want to be by myself. My son stood in the doorway and never shows emotion, ever. Kid never shows emotion. Even as a little kid, never cried about anything. But he's sitting at the door, and I go, just go with your mom. He's like, no, I'm not going. And I'm like, dude, just go, please. And he was like, no, dude. He was like, I'll sit right here. He's like, I don't care. And I'm like, Jordan, all I want to do is be alone for a little bit. I'm not going to do anything. He's like, you're going to fucking kill yourself. And I go, no, I'm not, dude. Believe me, I've wanted to, but I'm not going to. But it was just, and my son starts crying, and my son doesn't cry. So, I don't want to do that to them. Like, right. And I don't even think about going downstairs and hanging myself. Like, I don't think about that. It's something I have thought about in the past, but it's not something that I think about anymore because the pain will go generations instead of.
That's the word I was thinking, because it's an inheritance of pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're rich.
Yeah.
How you feel, that's gonna just.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Yeah.
And it's not gonna end because you're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be coming back. So the entire time that you're gone, they're gonna feel that way.
Yeah.
Just like we're rich, just like with your mom.
Yep.
You're always gonna feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get maybe smaller as time goes on, but they're gonna have to deal with the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of, and I think when people say you'll get over it, like, I think that's a
shit.
Yeah, I think it's a big cop out, and I thought of trying how to get over it. And then I came to terms about a year ago, maybe about half a year ago, with I'm not getting over this shit. It's never going to happen. So, and I didn't come to terms with it. Like, I ain't, like, say, like, okay, like, yeah, you did it. Like, it's over. My emotions aren't going to feel that way anymore. This dude is someone, you know, we slept in the same bed for fucking years when we lived in the projects. You know, this is my brother. Like, if it happened to your brother, it'd be the same way, you know, and I would respect it. And the people that have been like, nah, whatever, or the people that stopped talking to me, I get over that, you know. But with him, I'll never get over. And if you can't respect it, then you don't respect me. Back the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Don't be my friend. I don't need you, you know. And with my mom, that's a natural thing. You know, it's my mom. It was a natural thing. It was a natural occurrence. It was nobody's fault. But I mean, it's your mom, you know. So you're gonna get emotion, you know. You know, we deal with stuff like this on a daily basis, where there are people that are sick, and we can't do anything about it. That's okay. When it's controlled by the person, that's when it kind of leaves that mark with you. You know, my brother being that he took his own life, it's a different type of thing, and I can't even explain it. Like one of my best friends, Brian Mayhew, you know, he pretty much took himself out because he lost a girlfriend in a car accident. He went months, seemed like he was fine, and then one day he just loaded up on drugs, and that was it. You know, it was like this kid I fucking grew up with since I was like 12 years old. And he called me and he asked me to hang out, and it was like shit, like I couldn't because I was working or whatever.
Yeah.
And you tend to think shit like could have been different, and everybody was, if I just hung out with him this day, this wouldn't happen, and all this other stuff. And you can't beat yourself up over that. I was supposed to be at my brother's on Sunday.
Yeah.
He passed away on Saturday. So you're always going to live with regret or resentment, and you're going to live with being pissed off at that person because they did something that took them away at the wrong time. I would have rathered my brother die in a car accident than die the way that he died.
Right.
You know, because it's not on him, you know. It's weird to explain, but it's kind of like a it's kind of a it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain because you deal with shit differently when different people pass away in different ways.
Yeah, and you know something, the thing about regret is it doesn't even matter how they go.
Yeah.
Because when my stepfather passed, I got hit with a ton of regret personally too, because I always I'll be in certain moments where I feel like, you know, I'll be like, you know what, right now I'd love to tell my dad something. Like, I would love to say, you know, this happened today, or, you know, whatever, or have like those kind of man talks and stuff like that. And you regret the times that you didn't do that. You know, you regret the times that you didn't just stop over for no reason, or call them, or anything like that. You kind of have regrets regardless when someone passes, at least in my situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, you and your stepfather were really, really
See,
close.
I was closer with my stepfather than I was my biological dad.
Mm-hmm.
My stepfather raised me.
Yeah.
So, you know, him passing, I can't tell you how many times that I'd be like, man, I would love to tell him what happened today. Like, some crazy shit went down. I'd love to tell him. Or, like,
Yeah.
I'd love to just show up at his house and be like, yo, like, me and him love movies. So a new movie come out, I'd be like, man, my freaking father would love this right
Yeah.
now. And I was like, I would love to watch it with him and then talk to him about it, like, see what he has to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now that I'm 35, there's so many man talks that I would love to have.
Yeah.
That in my 20s wouldn't think about having.
Yeah.
And now that I'm in my 30s, and I'm sure in my 40s and in my 50s, there's certain talks that I would love to have with him
Mm-hmm.
to see his perspective. You know, but
Yeah.
I think you're always gonna have that when you lose somebody.
Yeah.
And there's no avoiding it.
I think when someone affects your life that way too,
Yeah.
like if someone could come into your life and affect you, I think that way about my stepmom too. they say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes, it doesn't fucking matter, because my stepmom she's my second mom. She's always been a person that was there no matter what, and she is the person that I call. Like, if I'm like, I'm down about something, I'll give her a shout, because she's always been there. And yeah, like that type of love that comes into your life. Like, I have a different stepfather. You know what I'm saying? My stepfather was a piece of shit.
Right.
So you're lucky, to have what you had, and that's what you have to think, like, that's fucking amazing. Because yeah, I would have fucking died and gone to heaven if I had a good stepfather. Or my mom probably would have fucking been a little happier too. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
But we all have shortcomings.
Oh yeah.
We all have different, deals in life that we got dealt and that we have to manage.
Yeah.
And if you're going to keep living, you have to learn how to manage them. Because regardless, life is given. Life is only given. Right? Yeah. You don't ask to be here.
Yeah.
Nobody asked to be here. Life is given to you, and that's the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you have it for as long as you have it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're not expected to receive certain things. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I'm learning. Like, I used to ask these questions: why this, why that? And then I stopped asking those questions because I'm seeing different perspectives as I keep walking through life. And I'm starting to learn that, them questions really don't even matter.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that I can do about that. There's nothing I can do to change that. And there's nothing that's going to fall from the sky. So,
yeah.
You just kind of try to control what you can. And
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I couldn't agree with you anymore on, like, I think most subjects we talked tonight. Like,
right,
everything.
It's not too bad.
Everything's been in pretty much
batting
agreement.
100 or
yeah,
batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000, yeah. If you're batting 100, it's not doing too good.
If you're batting 100, you're probably Michael Jordan. 94.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so it's been great. It's been a great discussion, great talk.
Good times.
And like I said, I'll probably sleep better tonight than I slept in a long time, and it's because I got to converse with someone.
Right.
And I respect the hell out of you.
Thank
you. Always have, always will. And we've had some friends that have been kind of fucked up and weird emotionally, and I've kind of turned into that myself, and it sucks, but it is what it is.
I think you're learning.
I think I am. I think doing this is in itself, like, even documenting like what I've been thinking.
Right.
Because I think typing it up comes off as pretentious or whiny, because you can't hear the emotion in someone's mouth or from their texting. You have to hear it in order to know it, And what?
And one thing I have to add to that is, this day and age, we don't have enough discussions like we're supposed to be having. We don't have enough talks with our friends or family members.
Yeah.
So like what you said, if you're texting it, I can comment to you, but I can't empathize with you as much as I can.
Yeah.
If I'm actually in a room with you, talking with you,
face to face,
your emotions are bouncing off me, my emotions are bouncing off you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that with texts or anything like that. You just don't. At all. You don't feel better.
Yeah.
In my case, at least.
No, I agreed.
So when you're sitting and you're doing things organically, you're doing things how humans supposed to do. I would think that you would be feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would work a lot better.
Yeah.
Than just you're writing it down. You're waiting. It seems like when you're kind of waiting for a certain answer or something. You're waiting for something that probably is never going to come.
Yeah.
Communicating in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once again, I couldn't agree with you more. The fact that I did type it up for a long time. It was always kind of like, I'm upset today, or I'm depressed, or I don't not feeling today, not feeling any day, you know. And I don't want people to think that I'm going to fucking off myself. And that's kind of the main reason why video documentation is kind of more of a reliable source than me just texting it up, because everybody's assuming that I'm just going to kill myself.
Right.
And before my brother was around, I thought this. This isn't something that I wasn't depressed. I mean, I didn't just get depressed because my brother passed away. Mm-hmm. For the past 27 years, 28 years, I've had chronic depression. You know, like my depression has gone way further than I thought it'd ever go, and it's subsided and it's come back. And that's the way that, you know, bipolar goes. So, like, to discuss it on, you know, just typing up, it's never going to get through. And, and talking to my wife is great. Like, I love my wife. I love my wife with all my heart, and I don't mean to laugh when I say that, and she's great, but I put a lot on her. You know, I put a lot on her, and I'm not just talking about the D. I'm talking about putting a lot on her.
I wonder if she was so happy to see me.
No, right? It's not. My penis
like,
is
I need
small.
a break.
My penis is small. No, she did. But like I put a lot on her, as in, like, when I feel down, which is often, I'll come up to her and I'll be like, look, I'm not feeling myself today. I don't know what's wrong, and I would like to tell you what's wrong, but I don't know. And she doesn't force the issue, which is fantastic, because a lot of people that do care normally would, because they don't know, you know, what they're dealing with. But she kind of just lays off now. And it used to be like, are you sure you're okay? Or like, are you going to be all right? She wouldn't leave my side type of shit. And eventually it got to where it's like, I just don't want to put it on you, you know? And even when my brother passed, it was like, I don't want to talk to you about it, because the more I talk to you about it, it's in your head, and I don't want to get you depressed. Yeah. And then it's just this vicious cycle of everybody being depressed. Yeah. I'd rather it be, let me talk to a friend here, a friend there, you know, so it's not putting a burden on too many people. Because that suicidal thought, it's there. It's always there, just like addiction. It's there, and it's there multiple times a day. It's not just now or just 2 weeks ago. It's always there. It's lingering in the back of my head. It's never going to happen, but it's lingering in the back of my head. And I don't think people, I think because I don't cry suicide. I don't say, I'm going to go fucking kill myself. You know, my thing is,
people that commit suicide don't.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing is, I'm just trying to make it vocal, because I think there's a lot of people who have my same problem. And I want the people that have that same problem to talk to, they don't have to talk to me, but to talk to somebody. And I think that the foundation in my brother's name, called Rich's Rescue for Life, has, like, there's a website connected to it called save.org. And they have, like, anonymous people you could just talk to. And they have physician or doctors that you could talk to for free, and they listen. And I think that's what the thing is like, somebody just wants somebody to listen, because as long as there's somebody there to take it in and like listen to you and give a little bit of feedback, it helps, you know. And it will extend my life a day, you know, or extend my life years, because I had that outlet. I had that person to talk to. I had you, you know. And that's a lot of the reason why I can't sleep at night, because I have so much shit in my brain, I don't know where to put it, you know. It's like luggage overfill, you know. It's like you don't know where to put this shit, so you stay up all night. Yeah. You don't sleep, and you don't know how to process thoughts the way a regular person would process thoughts.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, it's tough, but this is what this is for, you know?
Right.
Talking about movies, talking about music, games, sports,
We didn't even
whatever.
get to the boobs yet.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about
We have to
tits.
wait. Yeah, this is gonna be episode number 2.
Yeah,
We have
so
to start off with that.
yeah, it's you said we could talk for about a half an hour. It's been 3.
Really?
It's been 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 13 seconds that we've been talking. So I
That's
think
like
it's been,
that's like a normal like high production podcast.
yeah,
right
that is, and it's cool that you came and did this, and I appreciate
No
it.
doubt, man.
With all my heart, seriously.
there. Anytime.
You know, and I love you, and
You too, bro.
you're my dude. And do you want to end it?
Let's end it right here.
Let's end it.
Let's end it on top.
Okay. So, first off, is there anything you want to say before?
I just want to say what's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
All right. So, if you guys have been watching, and whoever's gonna watch this later on, we do appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out. And this was dope as shit. Thank you, man. Talking about not only depression and mental health and stuff like that, but we work with mental health. We deal with it every day of the week, not only in ourselves, but like we try to help people that need help. We are assistants at life, you know? So we know how to deal with certain shit. So if you ever need to talk, we're here. You know, I'm Sean, a.k.a. NadeKing-K. This is Ruben,
And I'm Rubes, the Gringo Mandingo.
the Gringo Mandingo, my guy. And we just, you know, the whole point of this was just to have a conversation, just to talk. And hopefully we get to do it again soon, and
Definitely.
hopefully we get to do it often. This is going to be called K's Corner. I don't know what else to call it. So if anybody else has any ideas, send it in the Discord. You're all part of it. Send it in the Discord, and we'll think of names.
Just nothing like the Black Forest or Eeyore's Corner or nothing like that.
No.
Not like that. We got to keep it on the up and up.
Well, the whole point of the corner is you. Because you're sitting in a corner.
I am in a corner.
Yeah, and my last name starts with a K. So, K's Corner. I just don't want it to sound like Gay's Corner. I don't want you to think this is the Gay's Corner. But, I mean, you do kind of sound like a female right now.
Well,
Could have fooled me. Oh boy, that was rich.
Wanna go play Candyland?
Candyland? You can play with my vagina. Oh, well, I'm from Boston. We call it vagina.
We're lesbians.
That's fantastic. Anyway, so
You son of a bitch.
I'm the butch.
Get down. What are you doing?
Put that cookie down now.
I'm a detective. You idiot.
I don't like it when you use foul language.
You son of a bitch.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
You're one ugly motherfucker. Anyway, oh yeah, there's this one.
The claw. You have been chosen. Did someone say tits? Did someone say tits? Huh? Huh? Okay, just let me turn this off for a sec.
Do you hear when it says pro?
yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So I don't think they could hear when it says pro, which is pretty cool. And one last thing, we have to you could sing. Sing,
I don't hear it.
sing,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend.
Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Do you believe in love after love? You know, you ever seen that Will Ferrell movie?
Cher.
Did you ever see the Will
The
Ferrell
one
movie?
where they're from Sweden?
No, they're in. It's the one. What's that old school TV show? The fucking about the planet, and he goes and Danny McBride is in it, and they're
It's about the planet?
yeah, it's about fucking they go to a different dimension. Tim, Danny McBride, and that chick. What the hell is that movie called? Red. What is the movie called?
Probably tune this out.
Red. What's the movie called? No, it's not This Is the End. What the hell are you talking about? Hold up one second.
That's Will Ferrell, Danny McBride.
Yes. Hold up, we'll Google it. Why am I doing this on the phone? I could just do it on my computer. Hold up one second. The movie with Danny McBride and Will Ferrell, and they're on a different dimension. Land of the Lost.
No, I never saw it.
You never saw it?
No.
Oh, dude, they touch this stone, right? They go, they're like in a different dimension, but there's this clear stone in the middle of the fucking like this thing that they're trying to go
Is that
to.
based off like the old TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go to this stone, and it's like it's a big crystal, and they put their hands on it, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he hears his voice like reverb, and he's like, "Wait a minute. Do you believe in love? Do you believe? Do you believe?" Watch. Look at this shit. Hold up. I think they might be able to hear it, but you see the shit down there. We'll... yeah. Do you believe in love after love?
I love Danny McBride.
Yeah, so do I. Do you believe in love after love? Feel something inside myself. I really don't think it's strong enough, no. See? What other songs are fucking auto-tuned that?
Anything T-Pain, right?
Buy you a drink, whoa, wee. I'ma take you home with me. The money in the bank. Shorty, what you think about that?
Wasn't there an Usher song? Wasn't there an Usher song that was auto-tuned too?
I don't know. I don't even know who else has done autotune other than what's that? Somebody
Wish we had that
Lil
thing-
Wayne, and he's like,
Wish we had that thing from Zapp and Rogers. That thing that changes your voice.
oh yeah, that'd be
Oh
cool
my
as shit.
God, that
Yeah.
is so freaking sick.
But Lil Wayne did somebody love. Somebody love.
Actually, you sound just like him.
Somebody love. Yeah. That's how he sounds to me. That's how he sounded when he. What is that? The fucking song called? Is it Somebody to Love? I don't fucking know what it's called, but it's
I
like
try to tune Lil Wayne out.
tune Lil Wayne out. Why? What's wrong with Lil Wayne?
I'm not just a big.
You're not a
Lil Wayne
Cash
fan.
Money Millionaire guy? Oh, was he even a part of Cash Money
Oh, yeah.
Millionaire?
Oh yeah.
But wait, so hold up. There was Juvenile, right? He was part of Juvenile's group.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all
cool.
Cash Money.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then Wayne went off and started his own label.
Oh, okay, I got you. I know that. Like, I was watching this thing on Netflix about the hip hop evolution or whatever,
Oh yeah.
and it was about down south, like New Orleans and shit like that. Rap,
Master P, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
and it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. Like they invented twerking, so I don't mind them at all. I mean,
No, I'm pretty sure twerking has been around before that.
I'm pretty sure they invented it. You might want to look that up. I mean, I think it's from like African dances that they used
I think
to
the
do.
term twerking came from down south, but I think twerking's been around.
I don't know. I think we have to look it up, maybe. Hold up one second. Where was twerking originated or invented? Originated. New Orleans. New Orleans. Says the word specifically originated from
Oh, so that's the term.
Okay, so let's go invented.
When did females start booty clapping?
A mega club. West Africa. I said that. I said Africa.
You did say
So-
Africa.
So West Africa origins of twerking can be traced to Côte d'Ivoire or some shit like that, which is totally French, right? I'm assuming.
Which is Swahili for clappe de booty.
West Africa, where a similar style of dance known as the Mapuka dance was originated. That's what I'm pretty sure we saw that in.
Get in here.
I'm pretty sure we saw that on Coming to America.
I'm pretty sure I've met a Mapuka somewhere in
Fuck
the trap.
you!
Somewhere in the trap. I think I've seen a Mapuka somewhere.
Fuck you too!
Yes. Good morning, my neighbors. Fuck you.
That's actually one of my favorite movies too. The
Oh my
Coming
God,
to America
from
is good.
beginning to end.
The sequel, though.
I have a.
Did you
Randy
see the
watching-
sequel?
Yes, I did.
What did you think? I think I saw
ready
your
for that?
Facebook post on it. Yeah, I
Oh
am
my
ready for that.
God.
Like,
That's-
since we're not getting
That
off.
okay. That movie
Out
could
of
have
love.
been something great,
Oh, that's what it's called.
and it was dog shit. There
Yeah.
was some funny moments, but it had no soul.
I didn't
at
think
all.
the guy they had play the kid was good. I didn't think he was good.
See, the thing is, the beginning of the movie, it kind of shows him like trying to make it up in the corporate world. He's trying to get this job. The moment he gets to Africa, he becomes ghetto fab. Like all that shit's out the window.
Yeah,
Like all that stuff that he was trying to prove himself
yeah.
goes out the fucking window within 5 minutes, and then
Yeah.
he's like being ghetto fabulous. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like,
Yeah.
there was nothing like there was no soul like in the movie the way.
Yeah.
Plus, we're talking about different directors
Yeah.
and all this stuff. different
And we're
studios.
also talking about the 80s compared to.
But
know.
like there was something there was something in the original Coming to America. There was something in there. There was soul. There was feelings in there, as well as some of the best comedy you're ever gonna fucking see in your life.
Yeah, agreed.
But the second one had none of that. It had
No.
a little bit of comedy. It felt like a rushed storyline.
Yeah, definitely.
And some good actors. Don't get me wrong, but it had no substance.
Yeah.
To me.
Oh no, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more on that because I thought the same exact thing pretty much. I was like, this is just not that great. I mean, the parts where they had the original characters.
Yeah.
Especially
what they tried to do was they tried to bait us with the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And then put in the parts where I remember that. But the thing about it, people that weren't born in the 80s or 90s
they don't know that.
don't
shit.
even know the freaking
I think
cameos.
I think that's where the Bill and Ted thing went wrong.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's 22 years afterwards or whatever. Nobody really knows Bill and Ted.
Mhm.
That's older than that's younger than fucking 25 years old.
Right.
So when they made it, it was like it's a nostalgia thing because they brought literally everybody back.
Mhm.
Like so, everybody that was alive,
Yeah.
they
did
brought
the same
back.
thing Coming to America too.
Yeah. And that was an Amazon thing too.
Yep.
Like that was an Amazon movie.
Yep.
And I think that's what the mistake is. They buy these licenses, they get the actors to do it, and then it's a big mistake. And it sucks because Keanu Reeves has been on a roll, you know,
time.
and now he's going to be doing the
He's
Matrix.
had like a whole resurgence.
Yeah, I know. And
You
now
know?
he's doing the Matrix, and I don't think they should go back. I didn't like the third one. I didn't care. Like, I didn't even care for the second one. I liked the first. I wasn't a big fan of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So when they go back and they make something that is well done, shouldn't be done any further, and redoes it, or
Everything that you're saying is parallel to what Coming to America was. You're talking about a fucking perfect comedy.
Yeah.
The movie literally has no downside. It's good from beginning to end.
yeah, and I think that's why when it comes to the Back to the Futures and
Yeah.
the Goonies
Yeah,
and
you
shit like
can't-
that,
you
you
can't
can't
do that.
recreate that.
You can't
And
recreate.
you
that
could
at
bring
all.
everybody back,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna make any difference. For one, bad acting was a thing back then. You put Corey Feldman in a movie that's a fucking mainstream movie, it's still
gonna
gonna
look
be
like a
bad acting.
dummy.
Yeah, it's
He's
gonna
gonna
look
look so out of place.
exactly, and that's just not something that like I'm willing to. It ruins your childhood almost.
Well, the problem is nostalgia sells,
It does.
and
And I
you
would
know,
watch it. That's the thing is like we say it sells. I would watch
we're
it.
We're baited into it.
Yeah, I would take that time
Yeah.
to watch it, but then I'd be super disappointed and go watch the first one just to get the second one out of my fucking head because I'd be so fucking down on it. Like you remake that. I think like you see Breakfast Club, but if you take 16 Candles and you relate it to now, you could probably do something. But I think when it comes to like action adventure movies or movies that are kind of far-fetched, then you don't, you just don't want to redo it. You don't want to remake it or even sequel it because it's today's technology. Half the movies wouldn't make any fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fish out of water, like them going to the Bronx or Brooklyn or wherever the fuck they went, them going there, funny. You have a guy going from New York to Africa and having a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Really isn't funny.
No,
you know?
because you can't relate to it.
No.
You can't relate to it, but you can relate to someone going from, being a prince
What's up, James?
to being in meager means, and
Yeah.
it's funny because he has to adapt
Yeah,
to
exactly.
being poor.
Exactly. And you know
like,
what?
Like the part when the king comes, is like, "My son works." That's
Yeah.
a fucking great line.
Yeah. And I know all the lines were
Yeah.
fucking great, but
Well,
my
my
thing,
parents are from the New York projects.
yeah,
So they love that freaking movie
Yeah.
because they know what that life was like. You know what I mean? They like my parents love that movie.
can I before we change subject, can you give me a soul glow?
Soul glow. Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow, baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth.
What about she is a queen to be?
That's the best.
What does he say in the middle of the song? It's like really awkward. He's like, and clean from infection.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I love how strong he ends it with.
Yeah.
You're queen to be.
That's great.
Oh, that was the best.
How do you turn
God.
this shit up? Okay, there we go. But yeah, that's funny as shit, dude.
That was the best.
Fuck.
That was the
Yeah.
fucking best.
Yeah, and I think when it comes like Gremlins, if they remake Gremlins, which is rumored, I don't think you can do it now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in the 80s it worked. Or in any other time era it would work. It's now they have to come up with new ideas instead of rehashing old ones because
Absolutely.
technology
Gremlins would probably be stupid now.
Yeah.
They'd probably
And
be stupid.
technology itself is ruined it almost because technology is so far advanced from the 80s. By the way, what do you think about that?
About how good CGI is now?
No, but like technology in general. Like we in the past 20 years have advanced more than we had in the past 100 years before that.
Dude, that's another 3-hour fucking conversation right there.
Yeah, that's
That's,
is that nuts though?
Yeah.
That is crazy. You have to think it's alien technology that we
Fucking Skynet's happening.
what is it called?
Skynet is happening.
What is it called? When you reinvent something, but you have to back invent it. What is it called?
Oh, re-engineer it or unengineer it or something like that.
Backwards engineer.
Backwards engineer.
I don't know. Backwards something.
Yeah.
But that's fucking nuts. Like, to me personally, I think that it's tough. That's the type of shit that gives me anxiety. You know, it's like
this
you
is
think
gonna go from helping you sleep to keeping you awake. Now.
no. But even though, dude, like, think of it. Like, not only technology, but like just the shit that was just the Pentagon just released of the UFO thing, which UFO could just mean somebody flying a fucking drone and we don't know.
Exactly.
But like, we can't be alone. You know?
I don't think so. I agree with that. But the only thing is, I'm not too scared about UFOs because if you think about it, try showing somebody what a drone is in the 70s.
Yeah.
Think of how they would freak out. Try showing somebody the iPhone back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I look at it as just advanced technology that I don't know what the fuck it is yet.
Yeah.
But then when the curtain is pulled, you know, you don't feel as scared because you're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think if the curtain does get pulled, I think people freak out a lot more because they want the information, but then when they get the information, it's like, whoa, what the fuck, and why were you keeping this secret for so long?
Right.
You know, rather than slowly, which I think they are. I think they're slowly kind of bringing stuff out to eventually bring out more shit, to bring out more, and so on and so forth.
Right.
It's the only thing that's scary to me is like who's in control of it, you know, like who and what is in control of it, rather than, you know, why would they come to the U.S.? Why does it matter? You know, why wouldn't they go to North Korea? You know, it's not like they're saying, hey, North Korea, that's a shit place. There's a dictatorship there. Let me not land there. No, they don't fucking know.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean, it's usually in our backyard where it's happening.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, like, I'm not sold on the alien part yet.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that nobody in Brazil is talking about that. Nobody in China is talking about that. Nobody in Australia is talking about that. It's usually us. So,
I mean, we're here, though, so we hear it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's not being talked about there.
But, I mean, stuff that's released by the Pentagon is now world news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would assume that's from other governments, it would become world news as well because you can't keep nothing like that under wraps for long.
Yeah.
You just can't.
We got 9 people in here. What's up, Diplo? What's up, Red? Fail. Yosef. Mean. Calf. Jeefers. James. Goldballer. Everybody, thank you for coming in. And Red.
Gotta get Kiefer's ass down here.
Huh?
Gotta get Kiefer's ass
Oh,
down
yeah.
here.
Kiefer has to come down. He's going to, but he's going through some shit, so we're kind of just...
I tried to get in touch with him. He's hard to get in touch with now.
I just call him on Facebook. I call everybody on Facebook. I don't ever
I message him, but he don't message me back.
I'll message him. I'll see what's going on. Because he loves you, so...
Yeah, I love that guy too.
Well, he was like, when he said, when I was like, you're going to come over, he's like, well, when? And I'm like, Sunday. He's like, fuck. So, yeah, so he's just...
Do you know his days off?
His days off? No, I don't, because he doesn't have a car. So it's constant, like, I have to go pick him up all the way in Willimantic, you know, and come back. And
that's amazing that you do that too.
Well, it's, you know, I've been there. You know, I've been broken down and out and not have shit. And he had some, huh?
You still have the scooter?
It got stolen.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It got stolen. And that was a Father's Day gift. My wife just bought it for me for, you know, just for the fuck of it. And it was one of the expensive ones. It wasn't cheap. You know, it was like $3,500. And we paid it off. And literally 2 weeks after I paid it off, I went to the backyard to go because it needed a spark plug. I went to the backyard to put the spark plug in and try to restart it and shit because I hadn't played with it all winter, you know, because it's wintertime. And it's not carbureted. It was fuel injected, so it doesn't need a carburetor. It just needed a spark plug. I went to go do it, and I'm like, where the fuck is it? So I call my landlord. I'm like, hey, where the hell's my scooter at? He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. And I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I guess it got stolen. So,
Shit.
yeah, so it's gone. Which sucks because I love that thing. It was like $2 in gas to like drive for like 2 weeks. I had no problems at all driving that shit. I love that thing so much. But it is what it is. But anyway, all right, guys. It is getting late. My dude has to drive miles and miles and miles just to get home. And miles. And we do appreciate you guys coming out. James, what is this? What? It's like watching your favorite series back in the day and bringing back. Yeah, sure, for sure. Yep. Same thing with TV shows. But thank you guys so much for coming into the stream. I really do appreciate it. This is going to be on YouTube by tonight. It's going to be probably cut up a little bit because this video is going to be like 4 hours long. So what we're going to do is this is going to be a weekly thing for me. I don't know if Ruben's going to want to stop by weekly, but if he does, I'm here. You know, if you want to come by if you want to
show up sometimes.
Yeah, if you want to pick up this Kiefer and come here, and I mean, we only got
that I can't do because Kiefer is that way and I'm this way.
Oh, okay. So I'll pick up Kiefer.
I'm on the shoreline.
Yeah, then I'll come back. And as you see, it's me and Ruben's pictures up here on the page.
I'm the handsome one.
Yeah, I'm the one with my mouth open. That looks like a gaping gape for me to catch stuff. And
catch fish.
Anyway, yeah. So we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Let me try this button out. What is this?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, NadeKing-K, a.k.a. K, or you could just call me Sean. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Really do appreciate every single one of you that stops by. Remember to subscribe or follow if you want. And also remember to have a great day. Peace out.
Oh, look at that. It worked. It worked. It could have been louder, but it's doubling up everything now. I don't know why. Every time I press that fucking button, it doubles everything up. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We had a blast. It was a good time, good talk, and we're going to probably talk tomorrow. I don't know who's going to be here, so we will see. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out. Peace out.
Y'all be good.
Bye.